Hello, and welcome to a slightly off-schedule evening of Dungeons and Dragons, mainly because of various reasons, people's lives getting in the way. It's the typical D&D curse. I apologise now if anyone, whilst I'm talking, can hear the sound of the torrential rain hitting the skylights up where I play, but apparently every single storm god available has decided today is the day. So...
I
yeah,
can't hear it, so I think stream will probably not be able to hear it either.
I can't hear it.
fair enough. But if anything does happen with power outages or anything, I will apologise now. But we're going to try because it's been a while and everyone wants to play and hopefully you all want to see. So, anyway, joining me as usual for our game, we have Annette as Talia Darkthorn.
Hello, darlings.
We have Ben as both Valdizian and Urt.
Evening.
We have Steph as Vienna.
Hello.
We have Reese as Blossom. And we have Aaron as Xandal.
Hello.
As always, big thank you to Sirenscape. Very useful tool set, very good. It's getting a bit loud in my ear, so I'm just going to turn it down. What the hell? Anyway, that's a bit better. Very useful tool set, very useful for music, sound effects, anything you want, ambient, atmosphere. Yeah, just use it.
It's useful.
Yeah. Any announcements from anyone else before I begin?
I'm just going to jump in and say we've got some amazing designs for t-shirts and other merch over at DysonMimics.com, all designed by our in-house designer, Annette, who's just waved. So if you go to DysonMimics.com, there's a load of merch on there. It's really cool. Custom designs for each class, and some Spelljammer stuff mixed in, just because I fancied dabbling in some designing.
He made the Spelljammer stuff, I didn't make that.
Yeah. So that's DysonMimics.com. If you're watching on Twitch, we do have a YouTube channel where you can watch all our previous stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, we also have a Twitch if you want to join us for live chat on Twitch. So it's twitch.tv/DysonMimics. And then on YouTube, you can go to bit.ly/DysonMimics. That's pretty much it.
Okay. So, to jump in where we left off, the party of Armatae had boarded their ship, the Misadventure, at Minas Pengoli, or, what was left of Minas Pengoli after they left, sailed their way back to Moham, with Bosun, the spirit of the ship, pushing it as hard as possible to get them back as quickly as possible. Arriving back in Moham, they were debriefed by Barast and a couple of his advisors. From there, members of the party dealt with personal... I'm missing a word. Personal... personal objectives is probably the best way to put it. Xandal went and had a talk with Rachna, finding out more about the marks he's found on his hands. Also, during this time, he was contacted by the placer of one of those marks and came to a tentative agreement of a mutual intellectual understanding and sort of a beneficial two-way trade of information.
And I ate a spicy salad.
Yeah, I was getting to that. Talia went on a date with Gunter, and in general, party just mainly grieved for the passing of a close friend and took their time decompressing from what was a rather trying time in Minas Pengoli. But where we ended last time was Xandal and Valdizian in the workshop. Valdizian having been allowing Xandal to have looked at the portal dagger once more. And whilst they were having a discussion, there was a ruckus from the floor below in the Jigging Jester Tavern. They heard the stomping of metallic feet, and as Valdizian prepared for combat, a angelic woman burst into the room, scooped up Xandal, and crushed him against her breastplate in a hug. and that is where we pick up.
And I believe my words at the very last session is, "What is it with you and tall women?"
I was.
Just to clarify, Xandal and Valdis are in room. Nobody else is in there, right?
No,
Nobody
but I
else is in there,
imagine
but
we've all
everyone-
just
Yeah,
seen
everyone
her
is.
come
Yeah,
through.
everyone is. This woman was not stealthy, and like Rook was trying
Yeah.
to prevent her from coming upstairs and failed.
I think me and Gunter were probably in the onsen at the time.
Probably,
Yes.
yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Vierna would have
So
just
we
been
might not have
straight
heard.
through. Yeah. In fact, I don't even know what Vierna was doing. I can't remember.
I think you were drinking downstairs, so you might have seen her walk in and been like,
Yeah,
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you
So-
need some assistance?
Does
Do I need to
anything
pry? Like,
No, it's fine. Hi, Finnery.
She
how
sort
are
of
you?
she slowly pulls you away from the breastplate and she's holding you up in the air. She's like holding you up, like your face level with hers, and she's just looking you in the eyes, and she goes, "Hello, Xandal. I
It's
hear
been
that
a
you
while.
need it has, hasn't it? Since your ill-conceived medicine attempts."
Yeah, some things require a bit more thought, I must concede. As he's saying that, he's kind of like shoving the 2 rings that he had back in his hand back into his pocket.
Okay, make
At the
a sleight
time.
of hand check.
can I make a perception check?
Yeah,
See if I notice this.
yeah.
he's in relentlessly. Xandal must suffer.
Okay, so 15
15.
for Xandal.
I've just
So-
pressed the button.
Yeah, Val, you
Yeah.
definitely catch it. You definitely catch that, and you see the glint of these 2 rings as he slips them into his pocket. Finri, on the other hand, doesn't appear to notice, and she just sort of goes, "Ragnar told me that you're seeking to reverse your mistake, and you need
I
my
am.
help."
Yes, but you're a little earlier than I was told you were going to be here.
Yes, well, when I heard, I was eager to get back, so I bullied a wizard friend of mine into casting teleportation.
Yeah, fair. I imagine
Now-
Ragnar told you where I was.
Oh, that wasn't hard to find out. I've been hearing all about your and this group's exploits. Not hard to pick up on.
I still bet that old fool's wetting himself laughing in the office.
Oh, undoubtedly. I'm sure he's probably scrying on us right now. She slowly
Yes.
puts you down and is now stood with her hands on her hips looking down at you. And Val, by the way, this woman is dressed in full plate armor. She's dressed in full plate armor with a dress underneath it, and you can see she has a couple of weapons on her. She looks like she's come from, like, war. She's got a long sword, a short sword, and a spear all slung somewhere around her body.
Val is just sat there, just like impressed with the level of kit she's got on her at the moment.
Yeah.
Forgive my manners. Allow me to introduce you. Valdisian, this is Finri. Finri, Valdisian. You may both get along. You're both healers. You can just sort of like see how awkward like Xandal is in social situations as he's just trying to say something.
Val's just gonna try and go up to Xandal and whisper in his ear, "Is this why you didn't get with the girl at the tower?"
No. Wait, what? Oh,
At your tower?
At this point, Val, you realise Finri is stood there with her hand outstretched like this towards you while she's been
Oh.
introduced.
This rock Val's not going to know anything, is he?
Val grabs the hand and shakes her hand.
She sort of looks from Val to Xandal and goes, "Fair enough," and she then properly changes it and grips your hand and gives it a very firm shake.
Are we doing a strength off? Is it going to be
Not
one of these
quite.
kind of handshakes?
Not quite, not quite. It's just a very firm handshake. And she goes, I've heard about you as well. Good things so far. I hope to keep it that way. Now then, Xandal. I'll help you with your little operation, but I'm going to have my payment this time.
Your payment.
Operation.
Yes. Yes. There is a ball in 2 days. You will escort me to said ball as my date. You will wear something nice. You will not bring any tools, and you will dance with me for at least 3/4 of the ball. Otherwise,
just sat there
you can
sniggering.
find someone else to do the operation.
He kind of like turns to Val, like, help! He's just sort of like,
I believe this is one of those occasions where I would say, I think you've dug your own grave on this one.
very well.
Good. I will have it in writing as she reaches into her breastplate and pulls out a roll of parchment, unfurls it, and you can see it is a pre-written contract. She's written this up in advance.
Oh, Sandor.
Slaps it down on your workbench and goes, sign please.
He kind of takes the thing and reads it through.
You read it through, and it does detail that you will escort her to the ball. You will wear something nice. You will not take any tools with you. You will dance with her for 3/4 of the time. The only thing that catches your eye at the very end that she didn't mention is you will also give her a goodnight kiss.
Yeah.
You've been taking lessons off your father again, haven't you?
Of course. After you escaped last time and did what you did and made me upset, I've decided that you need a firmer hand.
Ooh, what did he do?
Step on me, mommy.
What did he do? You mean you haven't told your friends about your inopportune wrangling of me and Rachna to help you mutilate your body?
No.
See,
Have you not seen
in
the
part.
gems in his chest, Sir Valdisian?
I mean, yeah, but I've seen lots of things embedded in lots of people's chests.
Indeed, but how would you feel if you were his fiancée? He called you into a room and you were expecting just, a nice meal with him and his mentor, and suddenly you're expected to perform surgery to plant these gems in his chest whilst his mentor does wards to tie them to his life force.
And Val just takes a second, and the only thing he pulls from that is fiance. He ignores the rest of the thing about
He
the
hadn't
operation.
Admittedly, he hadn't actually proposed yet. Betrothed may have been the better word.
Ah, okay.
Yes, our fathers were very keen on the idea.
And so were we, or so I believed. Until someone
Yes.
attempted to commit suicide by operation.
It wasn't intended suicide. I mean, I did almost die twice, but that's why you
Twice?
were there.
Twice? You nearly died 4 times.
Everybody's
blacked
died
out
4
2 of them.
times.
I was gonna say Val's really died as many times.
Wow, yeah. Like, how many times is it now?
I think I'm up to 4 times. 3 or 4 times.
Three. I think it's 3.
Yes, you blacked out for 2 of them.
Yes. And he takes out sort of like the pen. He's like, he signs the contract.
Val, I'll let you go.
She picks it up, checks it, rolls it up and goes, good. I will go and speak with Rachna and we'll have somewhere available for your surgery tomorrow.
I'll make sure you say hello to Helise. She'll be somewhere near the tavern. She's living here now, so
Helise?
she was always
Is here?
yes. She was always very fond of you.
She
Yeah,
ignores
right,
you and spins
something
around
else.
and walks out and you hear her going, Helise, darling, where are you? And just
Why
like
didn't I
Rook
start
is just
with that?
Rook
Where
is
is
just
he?
stood there. Rook is just stood there, just like staring and going, "What?"
Don't
I
think
can
I s-
imagine how confused Rook is being overpowered by, considering that he could move Hagger that easily.
I mean, you get the feeling Rook wasn't like trying to physically restrain her fully. Like he was just like trying to be sort of a body block,
Yeah.
but he's still just very confused about what just happened.
Val's gonna sidle up towards next to Xandal, tap him like on the back, and just go, "Don't think I didn't notice what you put in your pocket. You kept those for a reason."
Out of all the potential suitors that my father did try to pair me up with, I actually like that one.
Aw.
Here's your opportunity.
Now let's see how this operation goes first.
I mean, worst case scenario, she just kills you on the operating bed.
That's my worry.
Maybe.
Uh,
I was
I
gonna
was
say,
gonna say, it could be worse. It could be Vienna doing the operation ship like.
maybe following through with your proposal will increase your chances. She might be less angry.
I'd be a bit
100%.
offended if you did that first.
Yes. Right.
it's at this point Rook sort of just goes, "Mail," and holds out a scroll towards you, Valdizian.
Grab the scroll and open it up.
It is an official notification of the ball addressed to Armatae, inviting you to a ball in 2 days' time.
Okie doke.
So, it's you see now that this is the ball that Barras had said that he was organising is now imminent.
Does it say anything about who it's in aid of, or...
It merely states that it is a ball being thrown. It's listed as like a mixer, a diplomatic mixer.
Okay.
But you know that it is being thrown mainly for people to mingle with this diplomat who has come from Reforp.
And
How far is
before-
Rook
oh, sorry.
from the bar? Because
so-
Vienna's at the bar and.
Yeah, Rook is upstairs at the workshop at the moment, so he's about 1 level up, 2 levels up. 2 levels up because you're above
Vienna's
the.
going to shout
rented
up,
rooms.
Rook,
Yeah,
if
we're in
you're
the
not
workshop.
behind this bar, I'm going to help myself.
You see Rook, like his eyes go wide, and he just like starts running down the stairs.
And on what we were talking about before, Val, about our esteemed guest. I said
Yeah.
that I was going to help you with them, but we do have to play it smart. We
I've
will
got some
figure
ideas.
this out.
I've got some thoughts, but tomorrow's going to be a hard day, depending on if we can get stuff sorted. Maybe the day after, but Rawin and
Well-
those we've lost come first. So
Yes, we'll talk about it after everything has settled and everyone is calm.
Yep.
Once more. And he kind of just sort of like takes a big sigh and then goes back towards working on the new projector for
Yep.
Potentially add in a speaker because he was taking apart a machine as well, wasn't he?
Yes.
From the tower
Yeah.
to use as material.
Okay.
make
do
sure
you
you
want
get.
to?
I was just going to say, make sure as Val leaves, he's going to say, make sure you get some rest, because if you are going to undergo an operation, you need to be 100% going into it.
Of course, I will.
Okay.
Val leaves him to his work.
So Xandal, make me a tinkering check, please. So intelligence plus your proficiency.
Intelligence. I'm also going to use one of my Flash of
Dormammus.
Genius.
Yep.
Yep, my Dormammus. Normal roll. So that is plus my proficiency, that's +3, so +3 for my Dormammus, 20.
20. Okay, so you managed to get the device finished. You don't think it's going to be... It's going to be functional. Let's put it that way. It's going to work,
Yeah.
but it's like the actual range of sound that it's going to be able to produce isn't going to be massive. It's not going to be loud.
No.
It's going to be something that is very much... It's almost going to be like if you have her sat on a desk in front of you, you'll be able to hear her as if it's like coming from very quiet speakers. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be any louder than that.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it
Okay.
is finished.
Yeah. He will essentially take out the broken crystal from Hager, just
Mhm.
place it on like a sprocket on top of the shelf. As just sort of like a bit of a remembrance. And he takes the crystal, M's crystal, places it into projector, and then just passes out asleep.
Okay. Just as M
Yeah.
flickers into life and goes, ah, good. Oh, she just watches you just slump over asleep, and she goes, maybe in the morning then, and just she flickers out of existence again.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's 2 ladies in your life now.
There's
Uh,
been 3.
Downstairs, Rook gets to the bar just as you are reaching over to grab a bottle.
I was gonna say, by this time, I'm probably even behind the bar, just having a peruse at what's actually behind there, just kind of
He
like
just-
tinkering.
Rook just comes up behind you, gently picks you up, places you on the other side of the bar. What can I get you?
What would you recommend?
Are you drinking for pleasure, or forget, or...
I'm drinking because I'm bored.
Rook sort of shuffles off, comes back with a couple of bottles and a tankard, and just starts gently mixing. And you watch as the drink just starts fizzing and giving off these little multicolored sparks. And he gently pushes it to you and go, Wizard's brew.
She has a smell and a bit of a taste.
So as you smell it, it's got a very sharp sort of citrusy scent to it. And as you take a swig, at first it's citrusy, and then it goes really mild and honey. And then suddenly just there's this hint of spice to it. And it just seems to roll between those few different flavors, but there's also this slight, think like Pop Rocks. There's just like
Yeah.
this slight popping on your tongue as you're drinking it.
Oh, like the candy you used to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
still love those.
I know, I did. I love them.
It's like that, and it's a very entertaining drink because of that. It's like it just, for some reason, it just makes you feel slightly giddy.
Okay, well done, Rook. You've earned that one.
He carefully puts the bottles back. Okay. Anything anyone else is wanting to accomplish this evening?
I think I'd probably want to discuss something with Gunter quickly.
Okay. So you and Gunter eventually exit the onsen, moving, I'm assuming, to Gunter's room.
I mean, it's basically our room at this point.
Yeah, your room. Okay, so Gunter is currently sat on the bed just toweling his hair dry. And goes, so, that was fun.
It always is.
Yeah, I'm glad that the steam stopped eventually, though.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. Giving off heat. That was I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know salads could be spicy. That's a new one for me.
Well, they get their ingredients from the plane of fire, so
You know, that explains a lot.
yeah. Just a
Japan
little
fire
bit.
resistant. That was really spicy. Nice, but spicy.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll keep my eye out for other places like that for, more dates.
I wanted to talk to you about something actually.
Yeah?
You know, obviously you know about my father.
Mm-hmm.
I have summoned the man who raised me. Basically, he was a good friend of my father's, and he when my mother was killed by gnolls, my father was missing in action. He basically taught me everything I know. He taught me how to fight, although I perhaps lent a bit more into the... His way of fighting is not mine, but he helped me discover what my way of fighting was. Yeah, he's coming. So basically, he's my dad. So you're kind of going to be meeting my dad, and I just wanted to warn you about him. He's a drow. He's a bit abrupt. He's very protective of me, and I'm a little worried that he has a habit of every time I meet him, he attacks me every time to make sure that I
gets up and just comes across, puts his finger on your lips and go, I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure he is a lovely
don't know what he's
gentleman."
like.
He just pulls you into a hug.
He shoots me with an arrow every time.
Talia, make a perception check.
Oh, fuck.
You get shot with an arrow.
What did I roll? 19.
19, okay, 1 second. Ooh, meets it, beats it. You just catch, as you are sort of stood there cuddled into Gunter, you just see in the window across the street there's like a small awning. You just see a figure shrouded in black with a pulled taut longbow release the arrow.
So I see it so I can react, or
You see it so you can react. You have spotted him.
and she quickly throws Gunter onto the bench.
Gunter goes, oh my!
No,
And then
I told you what
there
it's like. I told you.
there is a shattering of glass as an arrow just thuds into where Gunter was stood.
What the fuck? You usually shoot me. Why is he shooting you?
I don't know. And you watch as you just see as a figure leaps through the window, discarding a bow and drawing a sword, and just starts moving towards you, pulling back its hood to reveal Maverick as he goes, "How dare you do such things to my daughter, boy!"
Whoa! Maverick, calm down. Yeah, I wanted it. What are you doing? Is this awkward?
He's like looking from you to Gunter, and every time he looks at Gunter, there is just murder in his eyes.
Please don't kill him. I really like him, Maverick.
Gunter just goes, "Hello, sir. Nice to meet you."
I told you, Gunter. I warned you.
At this point, Gunter's towel slips off.
I was just quickly gonna stand in front of him and be like, Gunter, now's not the time.
I did not mean to. This is not good. And Gunter just slips into his shadow and vanishes.
Oh, hello, Maverick. Do you have to do that to every boyfriend?
Yes,
Why? This one's a good one.
I promised your mother. He sheaves his sword.
You're early.
I rode Delilah all the way here. You owe her a cow.
A cow? Where am I going to get a cow? A cow's expensive.
I saw an abattoir on the way here. I'm sure you'd be able to get one there.
Right, well, I suppose I should tell you why I called you here.
That would be good.
I found my father. And I had
What?
to kill him.
Maverick
You know-
is not a man prone to emotion or showing emotion anyway. And you just watch him sit heavily in a chair, and you can just see a single tear rolling down his cheek.
Let me explain. So you know Dagger, the asshole, right?
Yes.
He betrayed my father and sold him to a necromancer. And that necromancer made him into a monster. He used his own heart to control him. With the help of Xandal. You should meet Xandal, he's very clever. We managed to deceive the bitch because she got cocky, showed her hand, showed me how she was controlling my father. So we managed to get it back. and freed him momentarily, and he helped us destroy her. But he made me. He didn't want to be a monster anymore, and I had to. He was undead, and I know you probably think I wear this cowl for decoration, but I am the Raven Queen's chosen, and it is my duty to destroy undead, even if it is family. So I had to kill him, and he's gone. And then she'll just sit down and cry a little bit as well.
You just feel Maverick pull you into a hug, and he just whispers, "But he got his revenge at least."
I don't know where he's. I don't know whether he's with Mother or not. I don't know. All I have left is this, and she'll point to the silver horn, and she'll show him a little vial of ash. This was all that was left of him.
Sort of looks at them and goes, "This is a tavern, correct?"
Yes. Would you like a drink? You look like you need one.
He stands up and just walks out, heading downstairs.
I'll follow
Vienna,
him downstairs and
Vienna,
explain
you see
who
this you see this half drow. So he's not quite. You can tell he's not a full drow. He's obviously like drow who's slept with a human at some point, and he is the offspring of that. But you see him come downstairs, white hair slicked back and tied into sort of a top knot, carrying a long sword and a long bow with a quiver full of arrows, dressed in black leather armor. He comes down, looks around the bar for a moment, walks over to it, and pulls from his side a heavy pouch of coin, slams it down on the bar and goes, "Drinks for everyone now," and just sits
I
down.
could just imagine how confused Rook is. Just this stranger just
Where
appeared
are these people coming from? Tommy will be hurrying
around
down
making sure
behind
it's not
him.
that busy, just like,
Yeah.
Rook at this moment is currently looking. He's seen Maverick come up, but before that, you'd been watching him for a bit, Vienna, whilst you're drinking your very anti-boredom drink.
yes.
He's looking under the bar and seems to be having a conversation with something. And when Maverick's voice comes out, you just hear from under the bar, "Eep!" and just something scrabbling and then movement.
Rook, I think you've got mice.
No, mice. Drinks! And he just starts filling flagons of ale and passing them out to everyone. And make sure Maverick gets one as well.
Come down the stairs by now and been like catching up to him.
Vienna's kind of keeping a side
Sitting
eye
next to
on Maverick, because drow, human, this is just like, It's not often she
hello,
sees
Vienna.
drow in these parts. Hello, Talia.
Oh, well, that's my kind of dad, but kind of obviously not, because you know who my real dad is, but yeah. He's the one that raised me. I called him here because he's a friend of my father, and I wanted him to be here for the funeral, so sorry if he's a bit rude.
It's at this point Maverick notices you, Vienna, and he sort of sees you, sort of like takes in that you are a drow, and like he takes in your stature and your sort of the way you're holding yourself, and then in drow he says to you, "My apologies, Mom. I should have been more polite in my approach. Please forgive me. My mother would be disappointed in me."
Talia's going to be like...
You respond back to him and say, "It caught me off guard to begin with, but I'm learning new ways in these parts. I'll forgive you this time."
"It is not common to see another drow, so I did not follow the correct social protocols. I will make sure to do so from now on, that I am aware of your presence."
And she just nods and carries on with a drink.
I don't speak drow. He wasn't rude to you, was he?
If he was, he would certainly know about it. And
Oh,
Fiona
yeah,
kind of
right.
understands, just
Ladies
like-
rule, don't they? I
Yes.
forgot. I still find that so weird, but so cool. Like, it's cool, but yeah, different. God damn it.
It's at this
So-
point.
Yes. Drinks all round, was it? She says this in common now.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds good.
He then pulls out another pouch and puts that down separately and looks at Rook and goes, specifically for the madam. All of her drinks paid for. And Rook takes it and nods to you, Vienna, and he opens it up and you catch platinum from within the bag. There looks to be 5 or 6 platinum in that pouch.
The hell, he's spending more on you than he's ever spent on me.
You have no idea the power the drow women have. It may be ever explained to you, but to see it in person.
If you order him to be nicer to me, does he have to? Just say it.
Thing is, Talia, I don't think I'd ever order a drow to be nice. It's not right.
Yeah, you're grumpy.
Exactly.
I think you're warming up to us, though. I won't tell anyone.
It's at this point Maverick sort of raises his cloak and a spider about the size of his arm crawls out onto the bar top and he starts feeding it a bit of ale from his glass.
Oh, told you not to do that indoors. It creeps people out.
Why?
Because it's a spider! We don't... You like spiders. Not everyone likes spiders.
Perfectly tame. In fact, she is quite tame.
Nobody's got a newspaper.
You just see Maverick raises an eyebrow, and you know what he'll do if you try to hurt one of his spiders. He goes, for that remark, you get to feed Delilah.
But I like feeding Delilah. She's lovely.
You do remember Delilah is a spider the size of an elephant.
Huh?
She at the moment.
Delilah, I left her in some caves nearby.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we owe her a cow, apparently.
Indeed. She had to run flat out for 3 nights to get me here on roughly decent time.
You okay then?
Out of game? What caves do we know that are near Maham? That's all I'm saying.
It's not actually those caves.
Okay, I just went.
If he mentions cave, I'm gonna be like, wait, which cave? You didn't put cave with water in, did you?
Random
No, this-
giant spider walks into a dragon's hold.
Good.
Like,
Yeah, there's some caves. Don't go in the caves with the water. Don't go in there. We have a friend who lives there. He's
This
very
was-
big and he'll eat her.
This was not a coastal cave, no. This was near some farmland.
Oh, that's
So
good.
easy to get a cow then.
Yeah. Where are we going to buy a cow?
Again,
Farms
I saw
outside.
butchers and abattoirs on the way here.
Does she want it like alive or already butchered?
She prefers alive, but butchered is probably easier to transport.
Yeah, maybe we should go with already butchered because, you know, not that they exist in this world, but yeah.
But yes, you owe her.
Right.
On another
Well,
note, Talia, try this.
oh,
Brooke made it.
I'll
I
have a
was
little,
bored.
little sip.
Yep,
Ooh.
it is that same pop rocky flavor changing with a good hint of alcohol to it.
Nice. Feeling like my tongue's still a little numb for that salad, though. Spicy salad.
Yeah,
Well, no,
Vienna
it's just a
kinda
thing.
looked like, what?
Go to the plate of fire. Like, they have a salad, and it's so hot that it makes you exude heat for, like, hours.
I might pass on that one, thank you, Talia, but...
Yeah, well, if you don't like spicy food, then you don't like spicy food.
By this point, Maverick's downed about 3 pints of ale, by the way.
And he can put it away.
Obviously,
Yeah,
had a long, stressful journey.
Obviously, he was a friend of my father's, and I just told him what happened, so he's a bit upset.
I
Right,
also
well,
discovered her in just a... By the way, Talia, have you gotten dressed before coming downstairs?
I
'cause
think
you
I'm
and
still
Gunter
in a
were-
towel.
About to say, you and Gunter were both just in towels after getting out the onsen.
Vienna's not battered an
probably-
eyelid, by the way.
No, I don't. Talia wouldn't give a shit anyway. She'd walk downstairs naked if she could get away with it.
Vienna's just like, meh.
But yeah, Maverick just goes, I just caught her and some blue devil boy. And
His
I
His
had
name
to
is
put...
Gunter, and he's my boyfriend.
I will call him Devil Boy until I decide that I approve of him. So far, I'm not impressed.
I got to go and get dressed and try and find Gunter, because I think I need to talk to him about something, and then she's gonna like run upstairs and try and find him, because I think she's realised what Maverick's up to.
Vienna, you watch as Maverick turns to this spider that he'd been feeding bits of ale to, and you hear him just give out these little whistling, like, almost like little variations of whistles, and the spider stops, looks at him, like almost gives a nod, and then scuttles away up and follows Talia.
I'm just saying, if it comes to a one-on-one fight, I would love to see Gunther and I've forgotten his name.
Maverick.
One-on-one in the bloody basin.
Don't
Oh
give
my-
Paddy ideas.
I would never.
So there's
With
Talia
that,
just running up
yeah.
and down the corridors, and just a Tal going, Gunter, I need to talk to you! Is it important?
So Vienna kind of turns to Maverick and says, so, tell me a bit more about yourself.
I live over near Duranar. I am
That
a
makes
hunter and a fighter. I keep to myself mostly. I live about an hour out of the town that Talia and her family were from. I built a rapport with her father as a fellow hunter, and with her mother. And when she was born, I was not named her new guardian, but I was asked that if I would eventually keep watch for her in the woods and just generally help. Her father then went off to the war, never returned, and then her mother died in the Knoll attack. I felt that no one else in the town really had a connection to the family as strong as mine, so I took Talia in. But I was not gentle with her. As is the way of our kind, she needed to grow up strong and fast. So I taught her the skills necessary to do so. What she made of her life from there was her own choice.
Sounds like you've done a good job. I've spent a little time with her myself. You've certainly done an excellent job of bringing her up, certainly.
Thank you. I only took what my
Knew
own
Vienna
mother.
liked me.
I only took what my own mother had taught me before she moved on.
Good.
Or, admittedly, before she returned to the Underdark.
And she just sort of kind of ponders in a drink for a little bit. Yes, that would explain Talia.
Indeed. She was always a handful, but one that I was more than adept at dealing with. May I ask, ma'am, what brings yourself to the surface?
Mainly work for my mother. I'm originally from the city of Naveen, except we are dwindling in number because of our ways.
My mother was from Naveen.
Yes, unfortunately, we're growing into a very small city indeed. We are losing our resources. My mother sent me on an errand. I used to be a soldier. She thought since she's moved up in ranks, she's becoming a priestess of Lolth soon.
Congratulations are to her then.
But she's decided it's better use for me as a diplomat to go and search for any resources we can get from the outside. Truthfully, I haven't really been back much since. Just mainly sending messages.
Well, to each their own. I myself prefer the outside, but that is just because that is where I was born, and probably my human half assists in that.
And yes, since then I've somehow got tangled up with these reprobates called Armatae.
Indeed. I hope they aren't getting you into too much trouble.
Oh, I like getting into trouble.
Well, if there is anything I can do to assist you with your mission, please do let me know.
I will bear that in mind.
I can't claim to have any ties with any royalty or anything quite so grandiose, but I know the land well, and I am a good hunter. Perhaps I can point you to some areas that might be good for drow hunting parties to come to.
That certainly sounds useful. We could do with all the resources we can get at the moment.
Very well. But for now, I should probably spend my time grieving for the passing of my friend.
Of course. There's a lot of grieving going on, hence why I'm hiding at the bar. Unfortunately, I did not know these people.
Indeed. People do not understand the drow way that if you did not know someone personally, there is no point in grieving for them.
But I'd like to think I know them enough to know to give them their space.
Indeed. Humans are sentimental, but it must be done.
For now, I believe it's getting late. I really ought to retreat, but best of luck.
Very well. Rest well, madam.
And with that, she takes a leave.
Okay. Talia, eventually you hear from underneath a nearby chair, Talia! Talia! You just see his head poke out the shadow. Is he gone?
Oh, he's going to be here for the foreseeable future, and I need to talk to you right now, because I have a very... He does this thing. Every time I get with someone, he tests them, and he's going to test you, so, you can run fast, right?
I mean, I can hop from shadow to shadow.
Be very fast. Stay away from spiders. They're his friends. He's a very good hunter. He will stay downwind from you. You won't know he's coming.
What kind of man raised you?
He's half drow. What do you expect?
It's at this point probably Vienna. You pass by this on the way to your room.
She kind of looks in with a serious face and then just goes,
Fuck you, Vienna! She'll scream outside the door. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a good thing, but he's calling you Devil Boy, and he's not going to stop calling you Devil Boy until you prove that you're worthy of me.
And then Vienna backtracks and goes, would you like help?
Yes?
And with that, Vienna kind of takes a step in and she's just like, so, the drow ways have been
Yes.
tested. Would you like to know them all?
It's at this point Gunter's eyes go wide and he ducks back into the shadow under the chair and vanishes as a spider launches from the ceiling and nearly lands on his face.
What, do I know the name of this one?
You would know that this is Deirdre.
Deirdre, what are you doing?
And it just scuttles back off and vanishes.
He has names for them all. Is that normal?
Well, spiders are basically our religion.
You
They mean
worship
so much
spiders?
to us. Yes.
You drow are so weird. No offense.
Untaken. So, this is where Vienna will start thinking about what potentially he will test Gunther on. So, is it going to be a one-to-one challenge? But this is where she's going to need Talia's help, because she obviously doesn't know Maverick as well as Talia. So
you would know if he's been raised by his mother, in the typical drow ways. Normally, it's the other way round. It's normally the male is trying to get with the female, and it's the female's mother who is dealing out the trial, effectively. You've seen it multiple times with suitors for your hand, although a lot of the time your mother just left it to you to decide the trials, which is why, like, half the time they never
succeeded
because you
They died,
ended up
and I made sure of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't forcing me to marry Noah.
But you know,
I am my own woman.
Yeah,
you know-
queen.
from what Talia tells you about Maverick and what you've already gleaned yourself, you get the feeling a lot of it will be to do with basically survival skills. You get the feeling Maverick is a person who greatly treasures independence, ability to protect oneself, ability to protect others, tracking skills, that sort of thing. So you think it will be a lot of, as Talia says, a lot of ambush attacks from creatures, a lot of ambush attacks from Maverick himself. Eventually, once
Basically, it's be on your guard all times.
Yeah. But you know that eventually, once Gunter has proven that he can survive these attacks enough, then it will move to the next stage, which is Maverick actually sitting down and talking to Gunter and getting to know him.
Oh God.
And that's even worse.
Yeah.
It's an interrogation.
Getting
Yeah,
to know
like-
you.
Getting to know
Drow-
all about you.
Drow courting is very much a free trial system. There is the initial trial, which is, are you strong enough for my daughter? Or like this, it's not so much if it's a son, because unless it's a highborn family, then they do it still. But it's, are you strong enough for my child? Then it's basically an interrogation. It's are you actually going to mesh with this family? Are your beliefs correct? Are you a good fit? And then the third one generally is more of a test of it then gets to sort of the more human level thing of, do you present a decent enough dowry? You don't think Maverick's going to care so much for that. It's more going to be a case of, are you going to be able to keep Talia happy, is more what Maverick's going to look for. But in Drow society, it's very much a case of, when you get to that third stage, it's, right, so you've passed all the initial tests, now what are you offering? What
Now
are you
give me
bringing to
money.
the table?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yep, you've proven that you're strong, you've proven that you're a good fit, but now are you actually going to bring anything to our family? That's like the final doorway.
So, yeah. Do with that information as you will.
I hope Gunter can survive this. I really like him. Shouldn't it be as long as I'm happy and it's what I want? Shouldn't that
That's
matter?
not the Drow way, unfortunately.
But he's only half drow. What about
well,
me?
let's
tiefling,
hope
I'm not
the
a
human
drow.
side is a little more forgiving. But yes, unfortunately,
Mm.
Drow are very testy. Just think about your upbringing.
Yeah, you're right. He was mean. Very mean.
Well, I'm off to bed. Good luck. Just walks
Good
off.
night.
Your problem now. Bye.
Yep.
It's like, oh.
Sounds like
So-
a you problem.
So, Talia, you do not see Gunter for the rest of the night. When you go to your room to search for him and possibly to go to bed, you do see Deirdre scuttling around under the bed and under the chairs, checking shadows and just generally patrolling the room. When she notices you, she just sort of stares at you for a second and then like bolts into like a rat hole and vanishes.
Not going to see Gunter ever again, am I? Ooh. Just like a bottom lip will like come out and she'll be like,
Meanwhile, Vienna is actually keeping half an eye on the ongoings. She might not intervene, but she is just keeping half an eye.
Okay.
And elsewhere, Blossom's just having a cat nap. Bless her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there anything Blossom wanted to be doing during this time, or is Blossom just...
No, she didn't know Brown very well either, so she'll mostly just be giving people space.
Fair enough.
Do tabaxis act the same way that normal cats do? So if they see a random spider, will they go after it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly birds that Blossom's obsessed with.
Mm.
Maybe mice, but I don't think.
Also, I'm not too
spiders.
keen on
Especially
spiders,
spiders
so
as
I'm just
big.
gonna avoid it anyway.
Especially spiders as big as the ones that Maverick has.
But yeah.
I was thinking
Anyway.
about that. I could make.
I'm probably gonna quickly go and rummage, find some supplies, and summon Queenie before I
Okay.
go to bed, just so I can have Queenie keep an eye out for the spiders.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell her to look after Gunfer and follow him and protect him
Okay.
from spiders if she can.
Okay.
And
Alright.
apologise profusely for not summoning her for ages.
Yeah, she
Stuff
does
keeps
give
coming
you...
up, man.
She does give you quite the stink eye, but eventually capitulates.
I like give her loads of pets and love.
Okay. So eventually you all find your way to your rests, and you all spend a long rest, sleeping, meditating, or doing whatever you need to do, until dawn arrives the next morning, bright and early. As you all, I'm assuming everyone's going down to breakfast.
Yep.
We'll probably go down to breakfast and decide what we're doing for the day. And stuff.
What time
Okay.
is breakfast in conjunction to where is it the Merchants Guild that I went to the other day opens?
So you went to the Jewelers Guild.
The Jewelers Guild, yeah.
So breakfast in the Jigging Jester is normally served anywhere from sort of 6 to 9, and
Yeah.
the Jewelers Guild opens probably about 10. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
In that case, Val won't be down right away. Val is going to any pieces of armor he's got. He's going to take out the polishing kit that Ert got him and just make
Yep.
sure it's as clean as possible. And he's going to try and find the least damaged clothing he has, and make sure it's as clean as possible and as neat as possible. Maybe mending some holes, and then basically putting everything on his bed ready for a bit later.
Okay.
And then going down for breakfast.
When you all get down for breakfast, there is a slightly odd sight for the most of you. Maverick is still at the bar, in the clothes from yesterday, head on the bar, snoring, with a half-empty tankard next to him. But then, over on at a table, you see Halise eating what looks like the stickiest, syrupiest pancakes in front of her, with Finri sat next to her, again, in full plate armor still. Like, she looks perfectly turned out this early in the morning. She doesn't look like she's just got up. She's perfectly coiffed and ready and in full plate armor, but is also digging into the same type of pancakes whilst occasionally elbowing Halise, who's making her giggle, who is attempting to elbow her back, but doing so and then having to rub her elbow when she hits the armor.
I'm sneaking
I
up on
imagine
Maverick.
like Xandal will probably be the last one down. He's probably going to, as he wakes up, firstly sort of like look around, because when he got up in the middle of the night to go pee, he could have sworn that he saw a Gunther cowering in the corner, which he swears he must have been dreaming.
A naked Gunther cowering in the
Yeah.
corner.
He's scared to get dressed. He's gonna have to get dressed eventually.
And B, he's essentially going to ensure that the Emily projector is still working, and apologise profusely for allowing her to essentially get destroyed in such a quick and timely manner.
The projector turns on and Emily goes, "It's not a problem, Xandal. That Tarlok was an overwhelming warrior. I should have been
Indeed.
better in my positioning."
Well, we're going to try and get you better armor and figure out what to do with my next defender.
Indeed. perhaps we can work on some schematics together, along with Nut.
Yes, I am going to need his help. His brain is somewhat magnificent.
I believe the term is idiot savant.
Idiot savant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, well, should at least go down and have some breakfast and at least send my regards to our compatriots who have also lost friends and family.
Indeed. I do not
Can I-
understand the full concepts of grief, but I understand funerals are normally necessary.
Yes. It helps ease the passing to say goodbye at least. Let's go. And he kind of like picks up sort of like some of his paperwork and his pens and stuff like that, just aiming to start getting blueprints fully drawn up and
Okay.
ready over breakfast, and picks up the projector and just heads down.
Okay.
I
So
try and sneak up on Maverick.
go ahead.
With,
Go ahead
with
and
my
roll me-
dagger, because I
go
want to
ahead and
get
roll
revenge
me-
because he does it to me all the time.
go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Oh, that's bad for me. Oh wait, no, I'm moving slowly.
So
that's a
plus 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus 5, so 17. So you start sneaking up on him. Rook's watching you from behind the bar, but Maverick doesn't stir. But as you step ever so slightly closer, your foot catches on something, and you look down and you just see a line of spider thread, and you just hear from above you. And you
Well
look up.
spot.
Maverick just snorts, opens one eye, glances back at you, and goes, "Nice try.
I'll get you one day.
That day'll be the day you put me in a grave."
Don't say that. And she'll get really sad.
Oh, trust me, I'm not intending for that day to be any day soon.
You better
I've
not.
got a blue boy to put in the ground first, and he
You're
gets up.
It's just like
He
stamp
gets
her feet
up.
like a titular child.
He gets up, downs the rest of his ale, and just looks at you and goes, and just walks out the tavern.
I think that's the point where Sandal comes down. He kind of sees the half drow leaving and goes, "Friend of yours, Vienna."
He is now.
How clean is Xandal? Is Xandal like covered in muck and everything from working pretty much and then falling asleep at his
Well, the
workbench?
Pretty much.
projector,
Yeah.
it wasn't too oily. He's a bit scuffed and a bit ruffled, but he's not dirty per se.
Do you not think you might want to clean up before
I
coming
will
down to
after
breakfast?
Wait, what?
I mean, it's at this point, Xandor, you look down the stairs and you see Finri and Hurley sat next to each other eating pancakes.
Oh, crap. Yes, I forgot. I need to go shopping today.
And you need to be clean to go shopping. Because they won't let you try on nice suits if you're dirty. So go get cleaned. Plus
Yes.
there's other stuff going on today, so...
10 points to Val for being the wingman.
Literally, wingman. Well, he sort of like hands over the projector. At least allow him to say hello to everyone. And he toodles
Certainly.
off to go get bathed.
Emily
And
looks
not
at you,
just
Val,
a
and goes,
quick dunk. Thoroughly wash, as he shouts up the
Behind your
stairs.
ears.
Yeah, it's too damn early.
So,
At this point, I'm
Um,
not sure if Val's actually wingman or mother.
Emily looks at you, Valdizian, and goes, "Hello, Valdizian. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Are you sure? I understand that losing one that is close to you can be difficult."
And he takes a deep breath and he starts trying to look away, but he realizes it's like a projector, so he kind of, anywhere he tries to avoid eye contact, it's not really working. And he's just like, it's going to be a tough day, but I'm fine.
I see. I have been not delicate enough. I will make a note of this for next time.
No, it's fine. It's... People deal with things in different ways.
Do not have to hide your pain from me, Valdisian. All things allow me to learn, and I will be able to respond better next time. And the holographic hand reaches out, touches the claw that's holding the projector, and goes, There.
Like,
Adorable.
let's get you with the rest of the people. I've got some errands to do, so I'm going to have some breakfast, and then...
Very well.
I'll leave you with the rest of the guys.
Xandal, as you enter the onsen, I'm assuming that's where you're going to wash up. As you enter the onsen, you see a reed sticking out of the water.
I knew the
Aw.
minute he said, "You see," and I was like, "Oh no, Gunter, come on."
What's he up to?
Look, we need to start cleaning up in here, and he just yanks the reed away and chucks it over the side.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Oh,
Paddy,
Paddy,
you're
you
on.
muted.
Yes.
Oh, is it that time?
Oh,
It's 8:12.
Yeah.
He's still
Oh,
frozen.
hang on. No.
It's maybe
Nope,
his mic's
still muted.
decided
Yeah,
to
his
die.
mic's disconnected. Power's still on though.
Almost.
Discord. At
Who
this
cast
time,
silence
every
on the
day.
Who cast silence on the DM?
Oh, he's gone. Now the
Well,
DM is Annette.
Yay! Oh.
You're still the DM until the webcam
Right.
comes on. Now you're
Okay,
back.
we can hear him. We can hear you again.
Nope.
Okay.
And now you're gone. Oh,
No.
Yes, and no. Yes,
Yes
we
and
can
no.
hear you.
Oh, no, we
yeah,
can hear
yeah.
you.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
can hear you, but you no longer. Are you moving?
yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. He's
Yes.
fine. I think we're okay. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
So
So
he
we're
yanks the reed away. Continue.
he yanks the reed away. We watch as Gunter just comes up, spluttering and coughing, and he goes, "Are there any spiders?"
Not that I know of. It's just me.
Good.
Were you in the smithing room last night?
Yeah, I needed to hide.
That wasn't a friggin' dream. You need to put some clothes on when you're wandering around the tavern. Everyone
God.
wants to see that.
I can't. I went to get boxes, and there were spiders everywhere. I have to stay in the water, Sandal. They can't get me in the water. They don't like the water.
You realise spiders can hold their breath up to 3 years, right?
You just see it, like his blue skin just goes pale, and he just goes, "Oh, shice!" And he just quickly jumps out the water
Freezing
and
them
dives
doesn't
in.
work either. Or is that scorpions? Same family,
just-
so...
He dives into another shadow and vanishes.
Well done, Xander.
My poor Gunter.
Sandal, you then watch as, from within the water, a spider the size of your arm comes out, shakes itself off, chitters at you, and just
What the?
out the room.
Was it like submarine
Everyone's
style? It
not
just
ready
like
for that.
raises out and just like.
Very, very
You
much
sort of
so.
like see him reaching for like one of his hammers, like he wasn't kidding.
Oh, so much
Is he-
But yes, you are able to get. It's already left. It looked at you and then just left.
fun. Sandal's gonna be very nervous about having a bath now, though. Yeah.
Dear.
just some kind of. He sort of like sits at the edge of the bath now and just sort of like sponge.
But yes. Anyway, the rest of you are all sat at breakfast with Finri and Helise. Ert has also come down and is now also like sat with Halise, also enjoying a plate of very sticky, syrupy pancakes.
Bjorn obviously hasn't met. Is it Finri?
Finri, no.
So she's obviously automatically winged elf. Like this is funny territory to me,
Yeah.
sort of thing. It's like, who's this with Halise? So she's a little weary about approaching the table at the minute.
Yeah.
I think Talia's probably beelined for the seat, and she's just sat down. She's just like,
Halise looks up and goes, "Hi, Talia. Have you met Finri?"
"No, who is she?"
Finri was Sandal's betrothed until he did something stupid.
Another
she
one
just
of
stares at her with
Xandal's
a grin
tall
and just
women.
like, his what?
His betrothed. And Finri
And then she's gonna look at me like, another one?
Finri, like, her head jerks up and her eyes seem to flash red. What do you mean another one?
My god. Ladies seem to really like Xandal, and they keep flirting with him. And I don't think he really realizes it.
grips-
It's
Tall
completely
ladies.
over his head.
She
Tall
grips the hilt of the
ladies.
sword and starts pulling it out. What,
Why
ladies?
are you getting so defensive? I mean, was betrothed, so you're not betrothed now, right? So you have no...
He's undoing his mistake, and I'm going to give him a firm hand and make sure that he leads a good life from now on.
The mistake was...
Putting those stupid gems in his chest.
Oh, not the... okay, wow.
What of a mistake? By this point, she is looming over you. Bearing in mind, she is a foot taller than you, Talia, and has
I
wings
think
that are slowly spreading.
And Talia's kind of looking at her, and she's just like, I didn't think I'd like this sort of thing, but hello.
I mean, he's been kicked out of his family. That's kind of a mistake.
You
Yeah.
you almost hear her neck snap as she turns to look at you, Val, and goes, "What?"
You got this on.
He stood up for, I forget the name of the character.
Halise.
Halise. He stood up for Halise. They were trying to send Halise off with somebody that she didn't want, and in doing so, we've rescued Halise, but he's had to like give up his fortune and everything else to try and save his sister.
Yeah, his dad's a dick.
You watch as Finri sort of cogitates on that for a second. The sword goes back into the sheath. She sits back down and looks at Halise and goes, "Halise, dear, is this true?" And Halise goes, "Yeah, he was really brave. He stood up to Dad." "Oh, well, he's such a good big brother for you, isn't he? And we couldn't let you go off with any nasty person. Don't worry." And
And
you
it's just
watch,
like leaning forward, like, I really like her.
she watches, she like proper gives Halise this great big hug, and Halise just goes, "Ow," as she gets slammed against the metal breastplate. And she goes, "Don't worry, big sister Finri won't let your nasty daddy do anything anymore. I'll have a word with my daddy, and he'll have a word with your daddy, and we'll make sure that it doesn't happen. And I'm going to have to
can
give..."
look after herself.
I know, but there's nothing wrong with having a safety net.
Yeah, it was
No, I
really
suppose
awful.
not.
Xandal lost his tower, and then there were these big women that came to basically stop him going into the tower.
There was only one. The other one was just... No, wait, they were both orcs, but only one of them was a woman.
Okay,
Yes.
that was the one that... And just pauses.
Meanwhile,
gives-
Bjorn has
Finri
got
gives
a
you a
drink
look.
going, "Ooh,
Finri
I do
gives you a
like
look,
drama
but
in the morning."
doesn't look like she wants to dig, and she goes, "Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. But now that I'm back, I can look after my Xandal."
This is amazing.
Ugh.
Like, there's
But
just
first-
so much
Xandal's
ammunition
a-
right here.
Xandal's
But
a pretty
first-
good warrior himself. He, you know...
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
pretty
mean as a
powerful.
warrior. I don't mean as a warrior. I know he's got decent skills there. I mean, have you seen his sleep schedule and eating schedule?
You mean he doesn't, he
Yeah,
doesn't
M's
sleep.
had to like look after him and stuff. It's
M?
been...
Who is M?
That would
That's all
be,
not
You watch as
another,
M,
right?
the protector pops up and goes, "Hello, I am Emily. Nice to meet you." Finri just looks at the projection, looks at the stairs. "One moment." Just starts storming up the stairs. Sandal, you are probably
on a bit too thick, Val?
you are probably just getting dressed at this point, and you hear Finry's voice from the corridor. Sandal!
Oh God, where's that
Meanwhile,
spider?
Fiona
Just fucking
just
eat
run
me
up
now!
behind her, like as close as by. Like she turns back to Talia, going, "I do love drama in the morning."
If
I
they're
know,
going to have a
right?
proper
Sandal
relationship,
starts looking for the big spiders again.
if they're going to have a proper relationship, honesty is the foundation.
I know,
The
but if you
onsen
cover everything all at once, she's going to kill him.
the onsen door slams open, and Finry is stood there, her eyes blazing, her wings spread. You made a mechanical girlfriend?
Meanwhile,
You're like,
Fiona
oh no,
heads
I
she's
didn't
behind the
make
door
Sorry,
a
is
I'm
mechanical girlfriend. The girl already existed as technology. Originally I built a body for technology. I'm being kind.
The sword is coming out of the scabbard slowly.
Sandal's not going to survive.
You're not
right?
denying that she's your girlfriend.
She isn't my girlfriend. She's older than everyone in this building put together.
So now you've got a cradle snatching mechanical girlfriend?
Do you ever get into those situations where you're having an argument and no matter what you say, they take it the completely wrong way? Because this is what's happening right now.
Still got
Anyway,
breakfast ale in
what does it matter if I did have a girlfriend? You walked out on me, remember?
Where's the pot from?
exciting, mind
The
you.
sword slots back into the scabbard. You'll be over at Ragnarvale's office at 10. We will do your operation, and then we're going shopping for a suit. You will not bring Emily. And she turns and just storms off.
Meanwhile, we're all hovering out the onsen door, just like, what's going on?
I
like
might
elbowing
have
the
said
other,
too
it's
much.
Sorry, Sandal!
This is great.
Sandal's just kind of stood there, shell shocked, still with sort of like his pants halfway up his legs, like.
Oh, good. We don't need to roll to know the size.
No,
It's
we
just say,
don't.
if he's pulling them half up, Talia's just like eyeing Sandal. I'm like,
Just, what these? No, he just kind of like sits down again, like
I'm so
this is
done
too
with
much.
he's not even had a coffee yet. We should get Sandal coffee. I'm going to go and get Sandal coffee, and she'll go downstairs and get coffee and bring it back to Sandal and be like, here you go. You need this.
Thank you.
Val, are you still holding Emily?
I am. Yeah.
Emily at this point goes, have I done something wrong?
No.
No,
It's
Xandal's done
complicated.
something wrong-ish, kind of.
And we
Relationships
made
are complicated.
it worse.
Very.
Interesting.
Xandal likes tall women, and tall women tend to be quite controlling or overbearing at
I
times.
think it's more tall women really like Sandal, and Sandal has no idea.
Yeah. And then...
I do not understand attraction. It is something that escapes me. But I have noticed this trend.
Maybe
I
we'll
will
find
make
you a big
sure-
warship that you can like. I mean,
Maybe you should just have, like, a buzzer that goes off anytime that Xandal is near, like, a tall woman that seems
and
to...
just get him away from them.
I just had a thought.
Sandal, in my new body, I request that we make a collar for you that links to my body that emits a shock when necessary.
I don't think that'll end well.
I will talk to Nut. I'm sure he will be more facilitating.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, I'm only 5'8". It's fine. I was just like,
It's
I
not
think I'm
particularly
quite
tall
hard.
women, it's strong
women.
women.
yeah, it's strong.
Are
tall
we
women.
not strong
Yeah.
women, Sandal?
I mean, I'm spells, so yeah, I kind of get that.
Are either of you attracted to Xandal?
Not in the slightest.
I mean, you're cute, but you're a little. No.
I think clearly not strong enough.
Did,
San-
um,
that
where
before
did,
leaving...
uh,
Oh, I'll let you go.
I was going to say, where did she go?
Finri, she's left the tavern entirely.
She's actually left the tavern. Okay.
Yeah. You
Val-
assume she's gone to Ragnarvale to help set up for this surgery.
Okay.
Val is just gonna, before leaving the onsen, because he's got to go and pick up stuff from the Jewelers Guild, just turns around and goes, "Remember, they've got to take your inseam, so make sure that it's thoroughly cleaned," and then walks away.
I mean, if you take your inseam, you don't have to be naked.
You haven't been to the... I mean, I suppose you have been to the place.
I've been there.
I think you may have been going to the wrong tailor.
I mean, they took my inseam that
to the
way.
right, Taylor. Am I right?
We're obviously
Speaking
on
of-
Been
to
suited before. I know how it works.
You haven't been suited at the tailor we get suited at, though. Let me
Huh?
introduce you to the best tailoring place in
Meanwhile, Vienna's kind of sitting there frowning for a second and going, "Why do you need a suit?"
the ball.
Yeah, Val, you haven't told anyone else about this.
Well,
No one
yeah,
else
there's a ball
knows.
coming, but we haven't been
Yeah.
formally invited yet.
Yeah.
Val sticks his head round and go, "Ball, here's the letter, bye."
I'll just snatch it out of his hand and be like, "See, ball. We need to
Val
Stress out.
Vienna kind of takes the letter and actually reads it, and she goes, "I haven't got anything to wear."
Then let me show you a perfect place to get one. She's really nice.
Be right back.
I'll show you the dress she made me before. I mean, I was making a statement back then. I'm going to make another statement this time.
Wasn't
It's slightly
Vienna
different.
with you with that dress? Because she decided
Different dress. You
What
might have.
dress?
You might have seen. I don't know. She might not have shown you that particular dress, but you would have
Right.
seen like an array of dresses.
I know
that
she did
has.
go dress shopping with you for.
Mm.
A
Yes,
date
but you
with
didn't
her.
go to Tatiana's boutique that time.
Right.
That was just you just went to the regular dress shops because
That was
Tatiana.
not a formal.
Yeah,
was just a date,
Tatiana's
wasn't it?
is more of a formal dress and suit shop.
Yeah, you just tell her what you want your statement to be, and she will make you the perfect dress.
With that, she's just like,
I'll show you my dress, and then you can decide if she's a good seamstress. Yeah.
"All right."
Come on, I'll show you.
I'm-
And I
I'm
drag
just
you down and I show
thinking-
you the dress that's like got holes and everything everywhere that would show off literally every single scar she had.
Oh,
be like-
right. Okay.
See how low cut it was? Like, whoo, everyone was staring at me.
You just hear Gunter's voice from under the bed. Yeah, it was so sexy.
Gunther.
You're still alive, darling?
And then you just hear from under the bed as well. And Gunter goes, "Ah!"
He's doing
Let him
well.
brave her. Let him eat at least. Right, but before we go dress shopping for the ball, I have some duties I must attend to at the Raven's Roost. So,
All right.
Can we call
Right,
that a
arrangements
pause
to be
place?
made.
Because cats need to be fed.
Yes, we will
'cause
take
he's
a.
going to eat me if I don't feed him. soon.
After that massive amount of hilarity, I need a couple of seconds to get my brain back into normal gear. So, 5-minute break, or however long we need. See you all back here in a second. Get yourself drinks, use the toilet, whatever you need to do. Ta-ta for now.
Be back
Be
soon.
right back.
In a minute.
And we're back. Hello, and welcome back to
Hello.
Dragon Sandal Day.
He deserves it.
We'll see. So,
Alright.
picking up where we left off. So, I know that 4 of you are wanting to go out and do various things. Blossom, are you going along, or are you going to stay at the Jester?
I'll go with them.
Yeah, you'll go with them. Are you going to go with Talia and Vienna then to...
Because I don't have any.
Well, I'm
Formal
going to the
clothes either.
Ravens Roost first.
Yeah,
before
but
I
that
get my
doesn't-
formal wear,
That
but
doesn't mean that they can't come and just hang around and wait for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, we will start
Make quick.
with the largest group. We will start with Talia, Blossom, and Vienna. So you guys leave
sec.
the...
I need to find a name for an NPC quickly to remind myself because I've forgotten her name again.
Is it the Black Mother? Are you looking for Liare?
Is it Liare?
Yeah,
Liame.
No, Liiare. Liare.
Wait,
that can't be-
Liia.
Liiare.
We're back to the complicated names.
That
again.
can't be the
Actually,
NPC's name. It's only one word.
That is
Lii.
A-R-E. Liare.
I'm
The
still
Raven
waiting for him to
Mother.
bring in the NPC. for
That's
Steve.
what I read that as.
Really throw us off.
Black Mother Liare.
Okay.
Liare, the
Mother-
Black Mother, controller of
Liare.
Raven's Roost.
Well, she's not.
A whole host of other names
She's
afterwards.
just in charge. She's not in
Yeah.
charge. But yeah.
She's
Yeah.
got an assistant
Okay.
named Dave. Yeah.
God damn it, fucking Dave.
Oh dear. So,
Uh,
anyway, the three of you leave the Jigging Jester. As you leave, Tali, you swear you hear on the edge of your hearing, "Don't leave me!"
I have things to do, darling. Just live for me.
But yes, you guys leave, and you do. I mean, all three of you make me perception checks.
No.
Perception.
22.
22, 23,
And 16.
and 16. Nice. So, Blossom, you don't clock him, but Talia and Vienna, you both see in a shadowed alley across from the Jigging Jester, you just see the form of Maverick staring at the Jester's front door. He gives you a nod, Vienna, and then just steps backwards into the shadows and vanishes.
Going to kill Gunther while I'm away, is he?
How much faith do you have in Gunter?
I mean, a lot, but Maverick is Maverick.
Relentless.
Yeah, he doesn't let you rest. When he's got it in for you, that's kind of it. Until you convince him otherwise. There's a reason why I'm so quick on my feet.
But yes, you three make your way across the crossroads and then into the area with all of the various temples here in the Gateway District, making your way to the tall, foreboding obsidian tower with the gargoyles spread across parapets of the Raven's Roost. Arriving at the foot of the tower, you can see that the doors are open and ready to accept people within.
Right. In we go.
Interesting place.
Yeah, not really sure what it is. Let's just go inside.
It looks nice and dark. That's always inviting for me.
It's pretty dark.
As you enter into the temple, you can see, as per usual, there is the black-robed figures of the sisters moving around, speaking to what you can immediately assume are grieving families. Talia, you see the usual two doors at the end of this entrance hall. The one that you know leads up into the tower, and one that leads down into the Maudlin Mausoleum. As you approach, one of the acolytes comes over and goes, "Greetings, chosen one. How can I be of assistance today?"
I must speak with the Dark Mother.
"The Black Mother Liare. I
Yes.
will see if she is available." And she moves off and goes through the door that leads up. You're waiting about 5 minutes before she comes back with that familiar figure of Liare with that shock of white hair with the single black streak going down into the ponytail. As she comes over and bows to you and goes, "Chosen one, welcome. How can
I'm
we
never going to
assist
get
you
used
today?"
to that. I have been neglecting my duties as the Chosen, and I believe there are certain rights that I should know that I do not. And I'm in need of, well, I will be needing to perform those rites for my father.
"I see. We are sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Wait here." And she turns and walks off through that same door. About 4 minutes later, she comes back with a book, which she hands to you. And you can see the front of it is the Teachings of the Raven Queen. "This should have everything you need to know. If you require more hands-on learning, please do not hesitate to come to the temple anytime.
Right. I also feel I've not been taking my responsibilities seriously, and I would like to do so. Do you have any signs of the Raven Queen? I would like to wear her sigil.
You watch as Liare reaches around her own neck, unclasps a silver chain, and brings out a blank silver mask on the chain and hands it across to you and goes, "Will this suffice?"
This should work. Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. I am glad that I could be of assistance. I am sure the mother will be pleased to know that you are taking your responsibilities seriously.
Yes, well, I suppose you could say I have been with her recently.
We
I
are all
believe
with
I
her.
have earned her respect.
We are all with her. She weaves our strings every day into the tapestry of fate.
Let you tweak them, though.
Only you can tweak those.
Big responsibility, see?
Indeed. If you need anything from us for the funeral rites, please do just come and ask.
Quickly leaves through the book. Do I need anything?
So you quickly have a quick flick through the book and you find the section on funeral rites, and there are no set funeral rites for the Raven Queen. Unlike in other religions, the Raven Queen basically leaves it very open. You can see that it says like the Raven Queen is obviously responsible for the passage from life to an afterlife. So she recommends cremation, because that is
already.
because that is the cleanest way to pass from life into the afterlife. But otherwise, it just says to just do whatever the people's family request. So, in essence, it's very much just it's a thing of quiet contemplation, speeches of remembrance, that sort of thing. It's a very typical funeral with just no heavily religious overtones. It's more of a
I'm the only one of the family left.
yeah. It's very much just like
Yeah.
It says it's a quiet send off, but it says obviously respect the wishes of any religion that the deceased worshipped in life. So, for example, if you were doing the rites for someone of Pelor, you would include the Pelor funeral rites into that, etc., etc.
Don't
So
think Tarlok was very religious, to be fair. So
no, you were country people. You didn't particularly do much in the way of religion. It was more just living by morals and that sort of thing. But that is what the book says. Like, for just general sending off of people who either you don't know well or who had no particular prime deity they believed in, it's just a general send off ceremony, just a general like
cool.
passing on. If they worship someone, then incorporate those teachings into the funeral.
So I think she'll probably flick through it and just be like, you said there was a place reserved for me, yes? In the mausoleum?
Yes, there is.
I'd like to make arrangements for an urn for my father's ashes to be looking after my space for me, as it were.
One moment. And you watch as she goes and speaks to an acolyte who then goes into that other door that the stairs lead down. They come back about 10 minutes later holding a pitch black porcelain urn with the symbol of a raven embossed onto the front. Would this suffice?
Yes, perfect. I'm not quite sure where we're holding the funeral, but I will return once it is complete for two ladies' urn to rest.
Very well. We look forward to your return, chosen one.
Thank you.
May the
Around with
mother
an
watch
urn.
over you.
And you as well.
And then they retreat and let you return to your companions, who I'm assuming have stood back a little bit and watched.
Yeah, we've taken a step back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go outside. I'm done here for now. Don't know what I'm going to do with this urn while we go dress shopping. It's going to be very awkward.
Would they be able to leave it here and then you can come back for it on the way back?
Yeah, I think
Isn't
that
the
might
position
be
of the
better
dress
idea.
shop on the other side of the Jigging Jester, so you could drop it off at the Jigging Jester
Yeah,
first?
I think it is. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have it at
the boutique is in Halcyon Heights, so
Yeah.
we'll
We'll go
have
back to the
pass.
Jigging Jester, and I'll give it to Rook to look after until I return.
Okay.
Don't mix any drinks in it, Rook. This is very sacred urn. Look
As you put the urn down, Rook picks it up and looks at the raven on the front, looks at you, and then points at himself with wide eyes as if to go, "Is this for me?"
And then she'll point to the symbol that she held up. Different raven, darling.
Different.
I mean, technically, yes, but no. Because
You watch as Rook
Kenku originally were.
Rook just gently
with the Raven
slides
Queen,
the
weren't
urn to the side of the bar and just like places a couple of bottles in front of it, and like he looks like he's trying not to look at it.
I was gonna say that's like the reason why you can't talk is because of her, so or something, wasn't it? No, they were cursed by some.
They were cursed. They were cursed by a god, but no one knows which god.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys then head off from the Jester, heading towards the boutique. In the meantime, Valdisian, you set off from the Jester and head over to the guild halls, finding the Jewelers Guild and stepping inside. That same brown-skinned woman with sort of the flakes of what look like dirt tumbling down her skin and the brown and green dreadlocks is stood behind the desk as you enter. And she looks up and goes, "Hello, how can I... Oh, are you back for that order you placed the other day?"
Yes, I am.
Ah, wonderful. One moment. And she goes to there's a series of lock boxes, and she pulls out a set of keys and finds the right one, opens a lockbox and pulls out. You ordered how many brooches? Was it 3?
It was 3 brooches, and then it was a similar item to be put on a string so that I could put it around a plant pot.
Yep. She gets those out and brings them over, and they are these... It was blue lutes, wasn't it, that you wanted?
Yeah.
Yeah, she puts them down on a cloth on the desk, and you can see 3 beautiful, like blue stone lutes with a gold outline and gold filigree showing out the strings. And then the last one is slightly larger and has like some done in gold and some done in silver.
These are fantastic. Can you pass my thanks on to the people who made them?
Of course. We thank you for your patronage, and they do as well. If you ever need any other jewellery, please do keep us in mind.
I don't need jewellery, but considering you work in silver, would you happen to have maybe 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver from your works that I could purchase?
I can double check. Just one moment. She ducks into a back room. You hear her having a quick conversation with someone, and she comes back with a pouch, and she puts it down and goes, "That should be roughly 25 gold's worth of powdered silver from remains of filing and that sort of thing when they've been working on the silver pieces."
I appreciate it, and I hand the 25 gold over to cover the cost.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that's everything. Just let them know that I'm so appreciative that the work got done so quickly.
Of course. I will let them know. And again, if you need anything else, do again keep us in mind.
I will do. And Val carefully puts the items in between some pieces of cloth and then into his bag, and then takes the pouch and puts that into his bag as well, and heads back towards the Jigging Jester.
Okay. All right. So, we'll go back to the ladies again now. You guys have made your way out of the Jigging Jester again and headed down southwards along the main street through the gates and into Halcyon Heights. And Talia, you backtrack from the way Gunter took you last time, and eventually you come to the outside of this little chic building with some large windows with red silk inside and mannequins with dresses that seem to shimmer and change every now and then, showing different styles and cuts. And above the door is the sign, Tatiana's Boutique.
Where do we get our dresses?
Trusting
go
you on
inside.
this one.
She's really nice, you'll see. And so
Okay.
I'll open the door and like walk in.
Is Sandal already there?
No, Xandal has not yet had his surgery. You walk inside and you see sat behind sort of a small counter this Goliath woman. Her tattoo's done very tastefully, and she's got her hair in red dreadlocks done in a very high bun. And she's wearing this beautiful black sort of gown. And she looks up and goes, "Oh, well, if it isn't one of my favorite customers, Talia!
Hello,
I heard
darling.
I heard the dress killed him at the ball, and killed
Oh,
Gunter as
yeah.
well, if I heard correctly.
So many nosebleeds, you have no idea. It was fantastic.
It was one of my better pieces. And who are your friends?
This is Vienna, and this
Oh.
is Blossom.
Pleasure to meet you both. My name is Tatiana. This is my boutique. What can I do for you?
Well, there's going to be a ball, so we need new ball gowns, and I've got some ideas that I want to incorporate into my dress.
Oh,
A different
interesting.
statement this time.
Well, let's get some measurements taken and then see what we can whip up, shall we?
Sure.
Come in, ladies, come in. I will close the shop for you. And she goes to the door, puts her close sign up and locks it and goes, "So, first off, measurements." And she snaps a finger and tape measures fly off and start measuring each of you magically. And you see like on a piece of paper a quill scribbling down your measurements, and she goes, "Okay, that all looks good. So, let's start with you, Talia. What are we thinking?"
Well, you see this cowl that I wear? And
Mhm.
the feathers? I want some kind of, like, feathery... I'm the chosen of the Raven Queen, and I want everyone in the room to know so. If you know what I mean, right? But I want to be able to disguise the fact that I'm wearing this cowl to incorporate it into the dress.
I see.
So
I
I'm
see.
thinking a lot of raven feathers, and I want this symbol embroidered in on a like corset. I mean, we've got to squeeze some leather in there, right?
Oh, of course, darling.
I'm thinking black satin with sparkles.
Mhm.
Bit more
All right.
elegant, you know, slightly low cut, but not too low cut. Little slit on the side.
Oh, obviously,
bit
you've only
classy.
just got to show a little. Got to give them a
Yeah.
little show, but not too much. Got to keep some guessing.
Little backless though, because I need to show off the 6 scars and tattoo.
Of course, of course. Very well, I've got all that down. Now, you, Mr. Vienna, a very nice skin tone, I must say. I mean, obviously, if we're going to play off as a skin tone, I would recommend some pale colors, possibly whites and silvers. But obviously, what are you most interested in?
Well, this is where she kind of glances at a mirror, looks at herself, and goes, "Bloody pink hair."
Oh, my darling, but the pink is so beautiful. Perhaps we could play off that a little bit as well. Or, I do have some magical hair dye. It would only take a little bit to change the hair color, if you wished.
With our nice white hair back.
Yeah, I'll only yearn for it though.
I
Yearn
mean,
for
we
the
could-
pink or yearn for the...
We could keep a strand of the pink, if
No,
you want.
yearn for the white hair that she's never gonna get back.
Oh, wait, is this like a permanent change to her hair color?
Oh, yes, yeah, as long as the magic holds, then it should be.
I mean, your hair's already cursed. What's another one on top, right? Hmm?
No, we'll keep
Normal
it
hair?
pink for now because I'm thinking in a out of character in a certain month's time. I don't have white.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, yes, wigs. Yes, you're right.
Oh, so for keeping the pink, so we want something that will play well with
But
the
you
pink.
mentioned silver. That would
Yeah.
work.
what about a little bit of lilac in with the silver, huh? You know, like a silvery but slightly purple, so
Well,
that
I'm
it matches
thinking.
the hair. I don't
I'm
know.
thinking more silver and dark purple. I went a bit gunter there.
Oh,
Silver and dark purple might be best. Play off each other. The gentle highlights, perhaps.
As for the style, I don't know.
make
I'm
it
not
sexy. Make it sexy.
Well, let's see what I can come up with. And for you, my tabaxi friend, Blossom, what are you thinking?
Something light, so I can get awful warm.
Oh, of course, of course. Are you wanting
Gimp, you
something?
say?
Not
Perfect.
too revealing though.
Not you seem more of an outdoorsy type. You're probably, assuming, not overly comfortable in dresses.
No.
Okay, so I can try and make it as tame as possible and as easy for movement as possible for you. I know that Tabaxi are a very free race. You don't like to be tied down, so something.
Maybe like dancers wear stuff that's like dresses, but not dresses. That could work.
I have a couple of ideas. Just give me a moment and I'll go work my magic. And she goes out the back and you hear the sound of furious cutting, stitching, and the odd flash of magic coming from the back. About 20 minutes later, by the way, while she's doing all this, a tray comes across with glasses of bubbly like wine and small finger sandwiches. You're getting the full boutique experience here.
I told you this place is amazing.
But about 30 minutes later, she comes, opens the curtains and goes, well, I think I've outdone myself. So, let's start with Talia. And she brings out first a... Have you ever seen on like medieval dresses, it's like a high collar that goes down into almost like pauldrons, but that goes straight out? Just pure silken raven's feathers that go out. And you can see at the back there's a point where it like your cowl will mold into it and look like it's part of this ruff. And she shows you that, and then the dress itself is a beautiful black and leather and satin corset, which then attaches to a high slit silk skirt that goes down to your legs and trails slightly at the back. And there is a matching arm shawl, but done with dots of like multiple colored threads that shimmer and shine and change, almost like the threads you saw the Raven Queen using. And she goes, so how does this look? I mean, feel free, please do try it on.
Not really feeling the shawl, but the rest of it's pretty nice. Thinking more poofy than so angular on the shoulders.
She waves her fingers and things change a little bit, and they do become like they tone. Instead of going outwards, they tone down around your shoulders and curve down and attach to the corset, giving you more of a décolletage look rather than the push-up corset. The shawl changes into almost like like the gown gains.
Nothing on the arms.
Nothing on the arms. Okay. She waves her fingers again, and the shawl instead changes into almost like a cape attached to the back of the corset that flows down and attaches to the train, but sort of just gives this light billow effect.
That's kind of cool. The Raven Queen symbol.
Yes.
Is that on the corset or something?
Yeah, you see that the corset itself, the lacing is the Raven Queen symbol.
Ah, nice.
Carefully done. She goes, just a little pamphlet about how to lace it to make sure the symbol looks right.
Thank you.
No problem. Next, Vienna. And she brings out this beautiful classical ball gown. So the obviously high shouldered, bit of a low cut V there, and then a long long skirt. It doesn't poof out too much. It's quite reserved in the poof, but it has a train behind it, and it's done in predominantly that very dark purple that goes well with your skin, and then there are just these highlights of silver running through it, almost like filigree.
Kind of looking, and she's like, I don't feel like me.
No good.
It's nothing personal. It's just fancy stuff. Just isn't me. That's more my mother.
Well, let's try this instead. And she snaps her fingers, and the gown writhes and moves and changes instead into a dark purple shirt, like a dress shirt, but with long flowing sleeves that sort of dangle a little bit just over your hands.
Ooh, nice.
With again a slight low cut, but not very low, sort of stops there. And again, there is these veins of silver all throughout the shirt, and then the actual pants are a pair of like black dress pants with a purple inseam
See,
going down the
musketeer.
outside. Any better?
That is awesome.
She kind of looks at it and goes, how about making a jacket dress? If you know what I mean.
I do. And she
Coat dress.
Yep. She snaps her fingers and it changes again, the same material, that dark purple with the silver veins going through it, turning into a perfect jacket dress.
So it's a dress, but it can be as like a coat.
Yes.
You can wear clothes underneath it, sort of thing, but
Yeah.
it looks like a really long, flowy coat.
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go. That's better.
Very nice.
Good. And then for you, Miss Blossom, she brings out a beautiful silk, think Chinese style woman's suit. So the long trousers and the sort of almost like tunic type top with the long flowing sleeves, and it's beautifully embroidered. It's a dark, sort of a dark, very dark green color with embroiderings of blossoms. Basically, she's done water lily blossoms, sort of coming up the left arm and across the shoulder, and then a couple down the right hand leg as well.
You're very talented at your job.
Of course, otherwise I would
But
not be in
want to look so
business.
fabulous.
So, in total for the work, obviously you know my policies, Talia. Normally for the rich and the hoity-toity, I'd be charging you much more and taking much longer. But for all of you, we'll say 100 gold in total for all 3 dresses.
Cool. So, splitting it 3 ways, girls?
3 ways, 100. Oh,
I was like, quick maths. I was hoping one of you would be quicker at it than me.
Well, if we do 30, 30, 40, because I think I've
I'll
got
do the
quite a bit
40.
there from. Oh well, I was gonna say,
I'll pay the 40 because I think mine was the most
right, okay.
alterations, as it were.
I mean, you could all pay 40 and give a tip.
Yeah.
or
That works for
There
me,
we go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
like
you're
voice
all,
from beyond. Yeah.
you're
wasn't
all
just
far
around
too
50.
generous, and you all look so stunning. I'm sure you're going to knock them
Oh,
all dead to
oh.
ball.
And also, if I slide you an extra 10 gold, we have a little halfling friend that's coming in at some point, I hope, to get a suit. If you could just give him
She quickly
everything he
pulls.
wants.
She pulls out a ledger and looks at it and goes, "Oh, is the one coming in with Finri? Yes, she's booked
Yes.
a private fitting later."
Yes, yes. Make her dress. Like, make Xandal die. It's just so
Oh.
hot in it, yeah?
That's a slight problem. Finri doesn't do anything without armor, my dear. Unfortunately, I can't
don't
ever
know,
get her
make her
out.
Surely you can make
her
army
sexy
look
armor.
fabulous.
Tell her that, I don't know, whisper and say that you've heard that Xandal really likes dresses or something. Convince her to wear a dress, it'll be amazing.
I will see what I can do. I can't promise anything. I've tried before to separate her from that armor, but yeah, she seems
I think we
besotted
all want
with
to see under that armor, am I right?
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Maybe
But for
compensate. Maybe something that can be fitted under the armor. If necessary.
Fancy armor does look very good.
Or an
Yeah.
enchantment
Yeah.
on the armor to make it see-through.
Yeah, make it look like a dress. No,
Not
like
the
enchant the
Emperor's
armor to
robe.
look like a dress. So she's wearing full armor, but she looks to everyone else like she's wearing a dress.
but it'll
work.
take a bit more, but it'll depend on if she's A, wanting that, and B, if she's willing to pay. But we'll see.
How much extra do I need to give you?
To deal with the halfling friend, you've already paid me enough. I'm looking forward to dealing with him anyway. From what I remember
clean up
seeing,
nicely.
I've seen him around before. I've been dying to put him in a proper suit.
I feel now.
No, I've seen him at some other balls. He's an absolute disgrace. Half the time he's got soot smeared down his shirt. Oh, not good.
It's a lady's touch, I think.
Exactly. Anyway, you free. Go on. She gets out carriers and puts your dresses into them to make sure that you can get them back cleanly. Go. Relax. Obviously, you have a ball to go to in a few days. So.
I need to send Gunther to you at some point. He needs a decent suit as well.
Oh, I have Gunther's measurements on file. Do you want him to match your dress?
Yes, please. Thank you.
That's fine. I'll make something and send it across to the jester and put it on his tab. I mean, he used to buy far too many clothes from here.
Thank
And
you.
the amount of ones he wanted pantless for some reason.
I mean, why have pants?
I know, but assless chaps. Ugh.
Well.
Yes, well, it's an acquired taste, I suppose.
I suppose. Anyway, lovely doing business with your ladies. Please have a lovely day.
Thank you, darling.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye. Okay, as you three make your way back to the jester with your purchases in hand, Xandal.
Yes.
At the appointed time, you make your way across the street to the Arcane Academy.
Yeah. I think as he's leaving the tavern, he kind of like glances at Gunther. He's like,
Gunther's not there. Gunther's
if he spots where Gunther is hiding, he's like, what a swap.
Roll me a perception check. Gunther's doing a damn good job.
Gunther, do you want to swap?
You want to be hunted by fucking Maverick? You want to fuck with that guy?
I think Xandal would rather that than deal with what he's about to go through.
You sort of have a quick glance around to see if you can see him. No sign of Gunther anywhere. Helise is still sat at the table. She's currently talking with Emily because you've been forced to leave Emily behind. So Helise is currently taking care of her.
Lucky bastard. I wish I could fight spiders instead. He just kind of like grabs some toast on the way out and just makes his way over to the academy.
Yep. Okay. As you get to the academy, do you knock on the door?
Yeah.
Yep. You knock on the door and it opens instantly, and Ragnavale is just stood behind it and looks down at you and goes, "What did you do?"
I opened my trap.
I'd guessed that much. Well, come along. The room for the surgery and the untangling of the wards is ready.
Yes.
I hope you haven't eaten more than that toast.
I didn't have
You're not supposed to eat before surgery.
Guides you through the physics-defying hallways of the academy, eventually coming to a stop outside a familiar set of doors. The same room that you had called them to before and pricked them into performing the first surgery. Opening up, you enter and you see the operating table and the arcane equipment necessary laid out. And Finri stood there with her arms crossed, still in her full armor, but without her weapons. She looks at you and goes, "Shirt off, get on the table."
Well.
he does. He sort of like
Giggity.
he carefully places like the waistcoat that he normally wears on the side, takes off his shirt. Reluctantly kind of like takes off his gloves as well, and then just sort of like lays on the table. He's also brought a domiat along with him, just for sort of like that robotic comfort.
You see Finri sort of glance at Adomia, give it a bit of a glare, but doesn't say anything. And she looks down at you and goes, "Well, are you ready?"
As ready as I'll ever be. Before we start, please can we make sure we keep the crystals? I kind of need them.
We'll see. Ragnar at this point goes, do we need to give him a pain-numbing potion? And you just see Finri go, no, I don't think he needs one.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
Revenge.
let's do this. Hello.
I think.
Oh, Paddy's died.
Oh, no,
The DM's
it's
gone.
an hour late.
Has the clock shifted?
Under an hour late.
I think because we had that little thing with the mic, that was that problem. So it's just like, oh, but we haven't had a crash, so now we're gonna mute your mic at exactly 8:30, and then an hour later, then we'll crash.
Then we'll do the crash.
Yeah.
Oh
dear.
Paddy.
I mean,
So-
it might be a power cut, to be fair.
She
with
jams her
thunder and
hand
stuff.
into your chest and she rips the crystals out. She's so angry at you, and she kills you, and there's blood everywhere, and it's just That's
Whole
what
new character.
Wrong character. Yeah.
Then Ragnarvale kills Finri, and
and everyone
Chaos
dies.
ensues, yeah.
So, anyway, you watch as Ragnarvale begins casting the necessary wards, and Finri picks up a scalpel and approaches you, and she looks down and she looks into your eyes, and her eyes soften for a second, and a gauntleted hand gently strokes your cheek, and then they begin
Stabs you.
the operation without any pain relief whatsoever. So I'm going to roll a medicine check for Finri.
Hey, don't flash things like that. You want to get banned on Twitch?
I just realised.
So, the first gem is removed easily enough. There is no damage to the gem, and Finri is able to heal the skin back to a nearly pristine condition. There is still a slight scar, but not much.
Yeah.
Then going to move on to the second gem. That one also comes out without too much damage, and again the skin is mostly healed. And for the final gem, this one comes out easily, and this time the healing takes perfectly. There is not even a scar. And Ragnarvale then carefully unweaves the life channeling enchantments on the gems. And you are carefully, like, eventually they're finished, and Finri helps you sit up and goes, now isn't that better, Xandal?
And kind of sort of like tentatively stretches, he understands that there may still be wounding of sort. And he's like, 3 years, I kind of feel lopsided, but I'll get used to it. Thank you.
Ragnar, at this point, he hands you the gems and goes, they're all completely magic free now, ready to accept anything else you need to use them for.
Thank you.
In the
It's gonna be
meantime,
weird not having Hagar around, though.
I'm sure you'll make a new defender and assistant soon.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'm sure Finri is more than happy to escort you and assist you, aren't you, Finri? Of course, Ragnar. I believe we've got a dress and suit fitting to go to now, Xandal.
Oh, yes, of course. He kind of like just grabs his attire that's on the side and just gets dressed again.
You see Ragnar just smirking at you, and he leans in and goes, "Oh, Xandal, I don't think you're going to be let go anytime soon, my dear boy. Good luck." And he quickly leaves the room.
Does anything fall out of his pockets whilst he's grabbing his clothes?
Did you? What? No.
No. Oh.
No.
Let's not get him completely killed. Come on. Just give him some
Aw.
slack.
Aww.
Yes. After you. And he opens the door.
Such a gentleman. She goes first and then holds out a hand for you to take.
Which he does.
And she walks. Yeah,
Fucking mother and
very
son.
very much so. But you make your way out of the Arcane Academy and begin walking through the Gateway District towards Halcyon Heights, and you draw a number of gazes. This very mismatched pair. One beautiful, angelic, pristine woman in perfectly shined armor, and this small halfling male with admittedly cleaner than he normally is, but still your clothes are ruffled and wrinkled, and
Yeah, they were
There-
once smart.
yeah, there is the odd soot stain even still on the cuffs from experimentation.
Yeah.
But she guides you through the streets, and you actually pass the three ladies as they are on their way back from the boutique. As you are heading through the gates into Halcyon Heights, they are coming out to head
Vienna
back
kind
to
of
the
nudges
Jester.
Talia. Hey, look at who it is.
This should be fun. Should we stick around and watch?
Vienna's just like, And then she goes, would you like us to join you? We've just been, but we're happy to. We've got some
it
time.
would be wonderful.
Uh,
You're going to love Tatiana. She's wonderful.
Vienna and Talia, one of you make me a persuasion check with advantage, as Finri is currently giving you a look as if trying to decide, basically trying to decide whether to let you come, and also trying to decide what your goal is.
It's your persuasion.
So you have advantage, so you can roll again.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're working together on this, so 16. 16. She sort of looks at you, and you can see the way she looks at you. It's almost as if she's trying to gauge whether you're competition. Like, you're women who hang around Sandal, and she's heard about women who hang around Sandal. And she's trying. She's trying to. She's trying
We've also
to.
seen a number of them naked already.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Oh, God,
That
do not
doesn't-
tell her that he has
doesn't
seen
need
all of us
mentioning.
naked.
But she
Aw.
looks at you, and eventually you can tell she sort of gets where you're coming from, and her smart, her like narrowed eyes turn into a smirk, and she goes, "Well, some extra feminine help would not go amiss in making sure Xandal looks his best for the ball."
Of course, darling, of course.
That Vienna kind of looks down at Xandal as like, oh, I hope you enjoy this.
I know I'm going to.
And you all make your way back to Tatiana's, and Finri enters in along with Xandal and the rest of you, and Tatiana looks up, sees you all enter with Finri, and her face just splits into this grin, and she goes, "Ah, Finri, here for your fitting, I see, along with your little friend and some of my previous customers, who I'm assuming are also friends of yours."
Yep.
"Yes, we're here for the
Wouldn't
fitting."
miss this for the world.
Very
Xandal's
well.
just surrounded by these women that are just talking.
Yeah. By the,
Literally.
by the way,
stood there like, you know.
yeah, as I said, Tatiana is a Goliath woman, so she is that same
She's a big woman.
statuesque sort of big woman. But she goes and she does the same as she did for the previous fitting. She puts the closed sign up and locks the door, and she goes, "Shall we start with the mail?" And she looks down at you, Xandal, with an almost predatory gleam in her eyes.
I mean, halflings are quite complicated. I think you need to be more hands-on with the measurements.
Of course. And she brings out a almost like a podium and picks you up, bodily, Xandal, and places you on it. Now then, let's get some measurements. And she starts measuring all the usual measurements, doing them all, and her hands are moving over your body, moving quite close to certain areas.
Xandal definitely just stands there really uncomfortable. You know, he's had suits tailored for him before. He's just not comfortable with this much attention on him.
Yeah. And she looks over at Finri and goes, "So, what sort of style are we thinking? Are you wanting him to match your dress? Are you wanting him to contrast the dress? Are you wanting him to have his own individual style?" And Finri looks at the rest of you and goes, "What would you ladies suggest?"
I think you should definitely compliment your dress.
And in terms of materials, I'd suggest something that you could pour easily water on or wine on, and it comes straight off, and that way you won't get dirty.
You need all the help you can get to stay clean.
I'm not that bad.
Sandal, you're always dirty. Like, I have never known you not to have a smudge on your face. Look, you even have a speck on your ear right now. You never wash your ears. Don't know anyone else who doesn't wash behind their ears. You didn't look at it. Look, and she like.
So at this point,
Cleans the ear.
Tatiana clicks her fingers, and Xander, you suddenly feel ridiculously clean. As she casts prestidigitation on you to clean you off.
Thank you.
Not a problem. If you're going to be trying on clothes, I don't want to get any dirt in them. Give me a moment, dears. And she slips into the back, and you
While she's
again.
doing that, Vienna kind of slips next to I keep forgetting her name. Finri.
Finri.
Finri, yeah.
And she's like, Xandal's an odd person. You don't need to be worried.
How do you mean?
He's
About
absolutely
Emily.
clueless.
Oh, I know that about him. It took him about 2 years to figure out that we were betrothed.
But let me tell you about Emily. Emily, I don't understand it myself particularly, but she's pre-calamity. Xandal.
And then Polly would just start coughing really loud. He's like, that's not something we should be discussing out loud.
But she's like, it's her knowledge. Xandal wanted to know her knowledge, nothing else. But in the process, gave her a form, so we didn't have to carry her around. And just
Yeah, she's pretty good in a fight.
Was this form feminine?
Yeah.
It was, but I don't think
She
it
was
exactly
modeled
right.
after me and Vienna, actually. This is kind of weird.
You hear a screech, and you look. She'd been carefully beginning to remove like one of her gauntlets, ready for the dress fitting, and she's just crushed the gauntlet.
Chill out. Jeez, you are so defensive. He
He's
doesn't
not
know what people
interested.
look like. We were his only point of
never
reference.
seen a female form, so he's actually based it.
And then Talia's just like, oh god, I think we just dug a hole.
No, you have. I'm trying to dig him out of it.
Meanwhile, Xandal's just.
I wasn't implying that he'd seen all of us four. Just like
True,
no.
because we're both like. I know Vienna actually wears quite tight clothing, so you.
But
What
so
you
do I,
see
to be
is,
fair, so...
yeah. So
yeah.
actually, didn't mention anything about the nudity, but it's like this is all he's had reference to. So.
Xandal,
Yes.
is this
That's
true?
yes.
What?
That you based your robot on these two ladies here?
He's never implied he's been interested in us.
In fact, when we teased him about it, he got really offended.
I designed the robot to be effective in water. The form was best suited.
Roll a persuasion check, Xandal.
I'm not adding a robot to this.
I mean, are we helping?
Not particularly.
Not really, no.
Oh, dear.
You're
We're
on
not
the verge
well,
of giving
but-
disadvantage, if I'm honest. She sort of goes, very well. Just next time, perhaps base it on a different female form. And you see you two see a very slight blush dust across her cheeks.
Well, I mean, if he's going to need a point of reference to that, so I think I've got an idea of what dress you should wear.
Oh?
Your form.
You want Xandal to
would-
sweat, right?
I mean, maybe?
This
Your
is going to be
form
perfect. And I'm going to
tends to-
whisper in her ear, like, what her suggestion is.
I'm going to shut up.
At this point, Tatiana comes back with the prepared suit and hands it to you, Xandal, and ushers you behind a screen to put it on. The suit itself is a beautiful, almost like white silver in color, with a dark black dress shirt and a metallic bronze bow tie. And you can, as you feel the actual material, it feels like it. You touch it and you know metal. It feels like silver, but it's flexible and moves.
This is interesting. Yeah, he finishes sort of like getting changed, and he sort of like comes out from behind the screen, sort of like one hand in pocket and the other hand sort of like by his side, like, well.
Tatiana,
out of your pockets.
Tatiana quickly moves over and like grabs something from the counter, puts them on her hand, and slicks your hair back, and makes sure like sort of slicks it back, makes it presentable, just sort of dusts down the shoulders, adjusts the cut slightly, and goes, "Ah, there we go." Puts you back on the podium.
Does the podium spin?
It does not.
Give us a little spin, Xandal. Come on.
I feel like a prize calf.
I'm just grateful you're not being fed to a spider right now.
Finree
Yeah,
just
we do owe that giant spider a cow.
Finree
Well,
just
Is that why the spiders are after Gunther?
It's complicated, Xandal. I'll explain
Is
it
he the
later.
cow?
No, he's not the. I hope not. And then she'll just like look really worried, like, "Oh my Gunther, I hope he's not going to be."
Finree at this point has been silent, and she's just staring at Xandal, and you can see the blush growing bigger on her face.
I'm gonna quickly whisper in her ear, and then whisper in Tatiana's ear, and just be like, "You know what to do."
Tatiana smiles, takes Finree's hand, and guides her into the back with her. Xandal, you're allowed to get down off the podium, and you are allowed to remove the suit and put it into a carrier and put your normal clothes back on.
Which he does, and he pretty much, once that's done, he's pretty much stood in the corner, like, just like the scolded child that's just sort of like, I'm not doing anything else now.
I'm not touching anything.
Just need to
I'm
draw
not
like
moving.
Xandal cowering in a corner, and just these 5 silhouettes of women just with evil eyes glaring at him, like.
But after about 20 minutes, Tatiana comes out from the back, and you can just see this giant grin. And on a Goliath, it's slightly unnerving as she just sort of goes, "Oh, I've outdone myself. I managed to get
I
her to
can't
take off
wait.
the armor."
Yes.
And she steps to one side as from out of the curtain steps Finree in what looks like a dress made out of liquid silver, hugging her body perfectly, going down her very, very long, shapely legs with an hourglass figure and a decent amount of cleavage being shown, wearing beautiful, what looks like iron bangles with runes carved into them, and then a lovely gold necklace with a small golden spanner.
Perfect.
She sort of looks very... You can tell she's not overly comfortable, but she looks over at Xandal and goes, Does it look alright?
Talia's just like behind
yes,
her.
you're... Wow. Yes.
Would you like to pick your jaw up off the floor there, Xandal?
By the way, her wings have also had a very gentle spray of silver done to the feathers so that they glisten slightly in the light.
Like a goddess, huh? Right, Xandal?
Yes.
Her face just breaks out into this angelic smile, and she scoops you up, Xandal, and pulls you into a hug. And you brace initially because you're so used to her hugs smushing you into a breastplate. This time it's much softer.
Motorboat, baby! Oh, let's go. Oh, the best.
And with that, Vienna kind of looks at Fenrir and goes, "Do you feel a bit better now?"
Finri just smiles and puts Xandal down, turns and walks with a much exaggerated sway in her hips back behind the curtain to get changed again.
This is Xandal just doesn't know what to do with himself. He's just like,
Let's hope
Yeah.
you do it, Xandal.
Vienna walks past him and says, "Remember your Kama Sutra."
And then we'll all just walk out and I'll slap Xandal's ass on the way out without a thingy seeing.
I tell you what, if the bone claw doesn't get me, these girls are going to get me killed.
Talia, as you go to leave, Tatiana stops you and hands you a suit carrier and goes, "This is for Gunter."
Ah, thank you, darling.
You open it up and inside is a deep black suit with a matching black dress shirt, and it's done in such a way that it looks like there's, like, if you bring it up to the light, it looks like it's got a raven feather pattern all down it.
Oh. You're a genius.
Thank you. She then takes the payment from Finri when she comes back, Finri clutching her dress carrier to herself, now back in her full plate armor, looking a bit more comfortable. And she picks you up, Xandal, gives you a kiss on the cheek and goes, "Well, I best go make sure I touch bases with father, but I'll come by the tavern later."
Yes.
When are we
We
holding
can
this
talk
funerals?
before everything, and just at least catch up.
All right. Well, bye for now, and thank you for your help, ladies.
You're welcome, darling. Anytime.
She turns and starts briskly walking off deeper into Halcyon Heights.
That was
Right,
fun.
I think we need to.
More serious note now, I think.
Yes.
Let's get this over with. I hope my dad will let up enough while we're it's so complicated. You know what I mean.
Okay.
Hopefully he'll leave Gunter alone long enough.
Okay. So you all quickly return back to the Jester. Take your various carriers to your rooms to put them away. When you come back downstairs, Gunter is now sat at the bar in clothing, looking very shaky and still glancing into corners every now and then, but he is quickly eating a meal and having a drink. He goes,
But the spider turns out to be the sausage.
And he sees you, Talia, and goes, "I'm so scared."
I'm scared for you too, darling. You're doing okay, though. You're still alive, right?
There was a close call when I went to the bathroom. I did not know they could hide in toilets.
They hide everywhere. I'm going to hopefully get him to leave you alone, at least for the funeral, because, I don't need a giant spider coming out and trying to eat you while I'm trying to mourn my father.
Yeah, that would be good.
So
and I got you a suit for the ball. You're my +1, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. What? Yeah.
We do need to talk about that, though, because there's going to be people from Reverb.
Despite his fear, there is just this stony set to his jaw, and he just sort of gives you a nod.
It'll be hard, but we need to be smart. But don't worry, he'll get his. We just got to, get evidence first.
Yeah.
diplomatic immunity bullshit and all of that.
Yeah. Okay. And it's at this point you just hear from behind you, Talia. The funeral is soon.
Yes. Please leave him alone for a bit.
Gunter has ducked into a shadow and disappeared again. Maverick from behind you just detaches himself from a shadow and goes, for the duration of the funerals, a cessation of
Suffered
hostilities.
enough.
He's nearly past the first trial. We'll see. And he
There's
sort of
more than one? Oh yeah, there is more than one.
So whilst
done-
oh, I'll let you go.
He's done better than any of the others before.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
put it that
because
way.
this one's the right one.
I'll be the judge of that. And he just stalks off.
Showing Stu a bit, because he does kind of find it a little annoying, because it's just like, end of the day, I don't give a shit what you say. If I like him, he's mine. Whether he passes or not.
So in the time that's passed in between Val going and grabbing the stuff and everybody getting their outfits measured and stuff, Val's come back to the Jigging Jester and the meeting room that's upstairs. He's prepped a couple of things. So he's gone into like his music cabin where he had recordings of Rawin playing music, and he's removed the recording devices and moved them into the meeting room. He's put the flower that he purchased into the meeting room and carefully taken the ribbon and attached the blue loot around the flower. And he had also many months ago purchased some moon wine to drink with Rawin, which he never got to drink with Rawin. He set up a table with the cloth on, and he's put the moon wine there, and he's poured out drinks for everybody who is going to attend that ceremony so that we can at least drink that. He doesn't know when everybody's going to be back, so he's just been kind of pottering around and trying to make things as clean as possible and tidy as possible, and just trying to...
During the time when everyone else has been gone, Ert and Wilma show up and do start helping you. Just sort of potter. They're also keeping. They don't talk to you much. They keep to themselves and potter around, but they're respecting your space. But they are there.
I'll probably take the urn from Rook, and I'll probably go upstairs, and I'll probably place it next to her flower pot.
As Talia comes in and does that, Val goes over and just goes, "You went to find out like funeral rites and stuff?"
Yes, for my father.
Is there anything special that you need to do, or I need to do, or like kind of doing this as a combined thing, like?
A combined thing. You do Rawin's, and I'll do my father's.
Okay. Slowly, people begin to file in. All the people who knew Rowan or Tarlock. Gunter arrives, still looking a bit jittery, but a bit calmer and a bit more neatly dressed. Rook comes in as well, having shut the tavern downstairs. Wilma and Ert are already there. I'm assuming the rest of you file in.
I'll probably hold Gunter's hand.
Because Fiona didn't know them.
Yeah.
But Fiona's going to go on a little mission on her own.
Okay.
But you guys carry on.
Yeah. Maverick comes in along with Asgarm. From Asgarm's armor. And they stand respectfully in a corner, quietly conversing until anything begins.
Val will... one of the elements completely passed his brain, and he quickly rushes off to his room, and he comes back and he's pulled out of his bag the brooches that he made, and he hands a brooch to Talia, one to Ert, and then he fixes one to like his armor and everything that he's wearing. It's kind of his best outfit basically that he's wearing. And he'll turn to Talia and just go, "Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?" It's...
I don't really know. I've never done this before.
Neither have I.
Together then?
Okay.
I mean, it's basically whatever I want it to be. The Raven Queen doesn't dictate. So let's just do what we feel's right.
Okay. And Val, before he starts to say anything, will take the letters that he got from Rawin and kind of fold them up. He's kept them pretty pristine and put them with the flower, and also get her lute and put that pride of place next to the flower, and just go. Not everybody got to know Rawin very well, and I think some of us, even in the party, didn't get to know her as well as we wanted to know her. She was really only with us for a short period of time, but the impact she made on each one of us, whether it was through her music that you can hear now, or through her actions or her friendship, will last a lifetime for many of us. And as part of Armatae, her portrait downstairs will always be there. She will always be a member of Armatae, and she will always be missed.
Yes.
Val just starts to sob. That's pretty much all he can say. In front of everybody else.
Will come up to him and lay her hand on his shoulder and be like, "Want me to take over?"
Yes, please.
And she'll tell a little story of her impressions of Rawin and stuff, and then she'll then be like, "But as wonderful as Rawin was, she's not the only one that we have lost. Tarlock Darkthorn, my father. I can't really say that I know him that well. He was gone when I was very young, but he was a good father. I have good memories of him teaching me things, and yeah. So I want to give respect to him as well. He earned it. He fought for Duranar's freedom, and I finished his legacy. But he was betrayed. But he has been avenged. So it is only right that he gets the rest he deserves. So, and she'll bring the urn, and she'll open it, and she'll pour the ashes in.
Val's going to do the same with Rawin's ashes.
Yep.
Not in the same urn, though.
No, in the flower.
Yeah. And she'll put the lid on, and she'll be like, "So let us show our respects. Would anyone like to say anything for Maverick and Rawin?"
Wilma comes up and says, "I only met Rowan a few times, but she was kind. She was one of the first to believe in some of my items and offer help in cleaning my shop and trying to get me back on my feet. I don't think I ever met a kinder, more upbeat soul. She'll be sorely missed." She treats and then goes and gives Urt a hug.
Anyone would like to say anything for Maverick?
You mean for Tarlock?
Tarlock, sorry, names.
But I
It's because he was originally, and then we changed his name, and even I forget my own freaking backstory sometimes. Yes.
Yeah. Maverick.
Tarlock. Would anyone like to say anything?
Maverick comes up, goes, "Tarlock was a good man. A good husband. A good hunter. A good warrior. And I'm sure he would have been a hell of a father if he'd been given a chance.
It was pretty good for what I saw.
He left behind a wonderful daughter. To Tarlock." And he raises a glass and takes a drink.
And Talia will do the salute. The
So
Talon salute.
as does Asgam as well.
And to Rawin.
To Rawin. And then she'll
Tarlock.
drink.
Yep.
To those we
Gunter
have
goes.
lost.
Yeah, Gunter just goes, to those we have lost.
And I think Talia will go and kind of wrap her arm around Gunter's arm.
Yeah, Gunter holds you close, and over Gunter's shoulder, you can see Maverick watching you. You see him roll his eyes, and you see his shoulders slump as if to go, okay, he's passed the first test. Okay. Whilst that's all been going on, Vienna, what was it you were wanting to accomplish?
Well, that might change now because I went to go get some herbs to help Gunter repel some spiders.
Hey, he might still need it.
So she'd probably still go and get them anyway, but yeah, she's gone to get the so she's gone to look for like peppermint, like citrusy stuff.
Yeah.
She'll bung it all into like a bottle, and when she gets back to the Jig and Jester, she'll give it to Gunter and said that
Yeah.
might help keep the spiders away.
Yeah, not particularly hard to find, and probably only puts you back about 3 silver in total.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you get back, and as everyone is now just spending a bit of time talking, discussing things that they know about the two who have passed, the afternoon draws into evening, and people begin to slowly filter away as Garm goes back to her own home. Wilma and Ert leave together.
As everybody has gone from the room, Val deliberately has the conversations and chats to people until everybody is gone, and then takes the time, not knowing, never asking really what religion Rowan followed or what faith she had. He is going to cast ceremony and spend the hour just trying to wish Rawin to where she needs to be, to get with, to be with the god and to be in the afterlife that she deserves. Sprinkling the silver dust around the room so that he can cast the spell, and then following the ceremony, he goes and picks up the hurdy-gurdy and because he never got to play the song, he just sits there until he gets tired, again trying to play this song. He keeps fucking up. He hasn't learnt it yet. He still doesn't know how to play the instrument, but he treats it as time with Rawin that has kind of been lost. So,
Okay.
And Talia will probably put in a word with the Raven Queen and say a little prayer for her as well.
Yeah. An acolyte from the Raven's Roost does turn up later on and collects the urn.
Was going to take it with Gunter.
Okay. So you and Gunter go off, head to the Raven's Roost, and the Black Mother escorts you down into the Magdalene Mausoleum, down to the bottommost level, past a number of sealed chambers to a chamber with the door still open and chiseled into it, Talia Darkthorn. And you can see within there is a slab waiting, but a small pedestal has been placed in front of it, and they place your father's urn upon it. And you watch.
We see what Gunter's reaction is to like, why is there a room with your name on it?
Gunter is very much, he realizes this is very special and he's keeping very quiet at the moment. But you watch as Liare casts a small spell on the pedestal and steps back, and an inscription forms: Tarlock Darkthorn, protector of the chosen one. And then she turns and goes, the mother will make sure he gets where he needs to go.
Yes, she will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go and rest.
Like, you want to go for a walk, or are you still safe?
I think I'm safe. I've not seen or heard any spiders for a while.
I have a feeling you've passed the first test.
Oh, thank goodness. Wait,
There's more.
First, I would say
There's
first test.
3. There's 3.
Oh, shice.
That won't be spiders. The second test, I don't think.
If I do, Vienna got me this. It should scare them away.
Yeah,
I've already
think
sprinkled it in. I've already sprinkled it in my underwear drawer, so I will smell a bit pepperminty and citrusy for a while. I'm afraid.
I spoke to Vienna. The next one's going to be a conversation.
I mean, a conversation's better than being chased by spiders, I think.
Yeah,
No,
probably going
it's
to ask you a
not.
lot of questions, so try not to piss him off, yeah?
I shall do my best. I'm assuming that's probably going to happen tomorrow.
Yes, probably. He's not
Or
going to bother you today.
probably before the ball in the evening.
Yeah. Queenie's watching. She'll keep you safe, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Maybe I'll watch.
We hope that would be good. But for now, shall we head back?
Yeah, let's take the scenic route, yeah?
And as you were going to take the scenic route through the city streets under the night sky, seeing as 10 o'clock is our hard finish,
Yep.
I'm going to end it there for tonight. So next session should hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing going wrong, should be the 26th. So back to the normal Friday. Steph will unfortunately not be available as she is off LARPing again.
God damn it, Steph, having a life.
I know.
No,
being
What is
a
up with
role
you? You're a
player.
D&D player.
I
You're not meant to have a
know.
life.
We will be doing a one-shot, but it is going to be a canon one-shot. And it is going to take place, I've now decided, in this day before the ball. So it's all going to take place before this ball. Hopefully I can plan it so that it'll all get resolved. If not, I'm going to have to do some wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey, but I
Yeah.
can fix that.
We'll
I
work
have
with
to.
it. It's fine.
But the name of the one-shot will be Nuts Mechanical Mayhem.
Nut.
No.
Nut.
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 Nut. So that is going to be interesting for me to plan and interesting for this lot to play through. Yeah.
Chaos
But-
Rain.
But until then, I hope you have all enjoyed. This was a very roleplay heavy session with quite a bit of lore dumping. For some people, that's not their favourite, but for others it is. So hopefully enough of you enjoyed it. There may be some combat next time, there may not. We'll see. But until next time, everyone, please stay safe, enjoy your own games, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.